Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. That's very
That's
Is the
so
good
good.
vibe?
millennial.
Is the good vibe still on?
That's so
The good
millennial.
vibes is still on.
You
The
know your shade. You're not wearing your shade. Like you're not giving me the vibe, man. What's
heats they
happening?
catch me. Now why? Heats they catch me now why?
Oh,
You know. But Ayo, you were saying something about my intro being millennial.
Yeah, yo, 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 yo. That's so
How's yo
millennial.
yo
That's
yo?
so yo, yo. Welcome to
Make a
MTV.
comeback.
Hey, yo, yo. Welcome to LTV 8 tonight. Come on, that's old man. Come on.
we're millennials now, so uh,
I'm
you
just
want
saying.
us
Yeah,
to? Okay.
you can be trans
No,
Gen Z.
but
You can.
if Steez can come back, right? And
Almost Steez came
Steez
back. Oh.
Steez came back,
You know
and
my
Steez is not even our
Steez. Dun,
we are
dun,
not
dun,
You're not
dun.
even the one that made my steez. Like this steez.
Yeah,
Steez is
that
a
was the older gen.
generation
Is that
X.
Oja?
Yeah.
Speaking about generations, like baby boomers, the lost generation are popular because what? They are our grandparents, boom, boom, boom. Baby boomers are popular because they got into a fight with the millennials, right? Millennials,
Yeah.
it became a thing, BuzzFeed, blah, blah, blah. Gen Z, they talk about them every day. You know, one generation people don't talk about and don't get enough media coverage?
Which
Generation
one?
X.
Yeah, X. Are we not in between X and millennials?
No, it's baby boomers, Generation
Mm-hmm.
X, Generation Y,
Oh,
which is millennials, and then Generation Z.
no,
Generation
no
X
send.
are the ones that were born between the 1970s and like 1980 something. It maybe like 1980.
Okay, yeah.
So
Juliet
they are
Bass.
in their they are in their 40s, they are in their mid 40s, they are in their late 40s. Those are Generation X. They don't get
Oh,
most of them gave birth to Generation Z's or the like very younger baby boomers gave birth to Generation Z. But like people don't even talk about Generation X at all.
they don't get swag. They don't
Mm.
get swag. They don't get swag.
Every other person gets media coverage. Why don't Generation X get media coverage? Is it because they were not
It's
able to
newspaper
brand their
coverage.
own generation?
I think that generation also. I think that the generation. I think they didn't dominate. I'm just trained now. I don't have any data to prove it or any knowledge whatsoever. I'm just saying maybe they didn't dominate like the social media space also. They just struggle to grapple with technology because millennials didn't have that problem because we were able to navigate. We were there when when everything was better. We saw it in real time.
I dare
Um,
say that
yeah.
Steve, everything generation millennials, which is generation Y, we experienced in
Mm.
terms of like analog to digital,
They
it
did it
also
too.
happened to them.
It also happened to them. Yeah, it's true.
It also happened
Uh,
to them. So
yeah, it's
Wikipedia
true.
defines Generation X. Like we started from baby boomers. Our grandparents are the silent generation. Before that, there was the greatest generation and lost generation. But like Generation X or Gen X,
Let's talk about the
um,
civilization generation. Yeah,
I have the answer, guys. I have the answer. I have the answer. I have the answer.
can I
shoot.
just before you have the answer, can I define who they are? The generation
Okay.
is generally defined as people born between 1965 and 1980. The
That's
term has also
generations
been used.
X.
Yes, the term has also been used in different times and places for a number of different subcultures or countercultures since the 1950s. In the US, some some called Xers the baby bust generation because of the drop in birth rates following the baby boom. Right? So the baby boomers are known as baby boomers because they were just knocking and giving birth to children, right? They are the ones that populated the earth. Then followed by Generation X, the millennials. So tell me why, Ayo.
Okay. So, Generation X has a smaller cohort size, which is a relatively smaller generation in terms of population size compared to baby boomers, with fewer people that's naturally less overall influence and focus. Media and cultural representation. Baby boomers and millennials
You're
have been
reading.
more prominent. Thank you. I know. I'm
See,
not, this ChatGPT. It's not, I can't, today's a Sunday. I can't kill myself.
the
I
way you
can't crack
were,
my brain.
sewing the words together, I was like, nah. And I've used so much. I should be considered a prompt engineer at the rate.
No, no, no.
So the way,
It's not, bro. I see. Like I know. So you know what I do now? Like one of my big flex now is I can take a ChatGPT full article put it on world, change. I know the words to change. So
Of course,
I'll
yeah.
take it, put it on an AI detector. It will detect, oh, this content is AI content, right? I'll say, okay. I'll take it back to my document. I'm not editing anything. I'm just taking out some words. Then I'll take it back.
Keywords.
It's this, yes, this content is really is 100% human. I say, okay, I don't catch you now. I don't catch you now. AI
Okay, so
content is
go
very
ahead. So
It's very
so
verbalized. They verbalize like the it's not verbalized. The adjectives, like they adjectives every verb,
a lot
fostering
of
these, enlightening these,
Mm.
stuff like that. So I just remove it. I remove those SS. I just put it back, and you tell me, oh, I say correct. I don't catch you now. Yeah.
so Ayo, the first reason is that population
That,
size, right?
yeah, population size. Second reason
Can
is
you
that
please
they
go
don't have
ahead?
that much media and cultural
Cultural
representation like
representative.
baby
Yeah.
boomers and millennials, who have been more prominently featured in media and cultural narratives. Baby boomers were a large influential generation that shaped post-World War II culture, while millennials came of age during the rise of the internet and social media, garnering significant media attention. Transitional period. Gen X grew up during a transitional period marked by significant social, economic, and technological changes, such as the end of the Cold
Mm-hmm.
War and the rise of the digital age. This
Mm-hmm.
transitional nature means they don't fit neatly into the cultural narratives dominated by either the optimism and activism of baby boomers or the digital nativity and social justice focus of millennials and Gen Z, the woke
That
people.
was the point I was trying to make. But AI is
Yeah.
AI. So Steve is Steve.
Yeah. They also have like perceived self-reliance, economic and political influence, cultural contributions. But those are the three major reasons why they
Issues.
don't get much love.
So that
So
I'm much
basically,
love.
they're just a boring set of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Born in the
Well,
wrong
you
time
know what
also.
they did? Yeah, you know what they did? They
Well,
said they would punish the world, and they gave birth to Gen Zs. You know, but yeah,
Uh,
man, that's very. I've always thought about that, but thank you for breaking that down. And yeah, after Gen Zs, what I'm also looking forward to, right, is so I don't like how people have characterized Gen Zs as, oh, they don't want to
mhm,
work or they dress funny, like all of that stuff, right? Because every generation comes with their own character, right? It's how
long
the baby
baggage.
boomers also look at millennials and like, what's up with you guys? Like, calm down. Millennials are the ones that pull out their phones, take pictures of their. Have you seen millennial parents? They are the most annoying,
With the
right?
iPad.
They're the ones that will capture everything on social. Capture their kids walking for the first time, and all of that to
everything is
wahala.
online. Yeah. Yeah.
So Gen Zs come, then they want to be pissed off at Gen Zs because Gen Zs just do everything better than them. Like you were on being a Facebooker, being popular on Facebook, and this Gen Z is on TikTok, but you want to be mad at the Gen Z on TikTok. Do you understand? Like a few years ago, you were enjoying your own shine on Facebook. So that's the issue I have. What I am looking forward to rather is how Gen Zs will now start complaining about the Gen Alpha. It's going to be
Gen Alpha now.
it's going,
Gen Alpha now the
it's going to
Antichrist
be
generation. Now they will end everything finally.
for me, it's going to be hilarious the way they will look at like Gen Alpha and say, like the way Gen Alphas will look at Gen Zs and say, that's old school. That's like old. What's wrong with you? And I feel like Gen Alphas will bring normalcy and they'll kind of like align with millennials somehow.
Amen.
And then
Amen. Amen. No.
then look at Gen Z funny and Gen Z will start I just need people to come. It's like how like 10 years ago, right? When everybody was saying like, the new guys, oh Drake is so cool, oh Jay Z is not cool. And I remember when we used to tell what's his name? It's not Shokwe.
Shupo.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
name of the Shukwu, rather, sorry,
The
Shukwa. And we
intern
used
now,
to tell Shukwa
I
that
think it's shop or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, Shukwa. And we used to tell Shukwa that one day, a few years from now, right? You guys are going to sound old.
Oh
Drake is going to
yeah.
And dated.
sound old, because there'll be new people on the block who will sound younger. etc. etc. Yeah, you're welcome to another episode of Loose Talk Podcast. I have with me my formidable co-hosts, Mr. Steve Dede, the lead researcher, Isolo's finest, aka Now We Get Lagos. You have any? Why are you laughing, Steve?
Don't say solo finest. Just say mainland's finest. We'll
It's the
expand them
Solo's
small.
finest. Am I lying?
Let's broaden it a little
Mainland,
bit.
mainland
Solo.
is big good. Mainland is big good. There are other final people in other parts of mainland, so you don't know. So just take it like that. It's all finest.
Okay, man, just manage the solo one, Abi.
It's
All
all
right.
big now.
It's Solo.
It's all big
I'll
now.
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm leaving here
What's the
solid.
population
You know.
size of the Solo?
Let me check.
It's Solo's finest. It's not like you're 10, you're just 10 people that live in the Solo now.
Solo is quite
Maybe
big,
Population.
look.
and it's just shout town if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-uh. It's one of the
So 1 million.
first
That's 20,
1
20
million, one, hmm,
1 million.
1 million people in his solo. What's that thing
uh,
MI said? MI name dropped two people in his raps early on now. I
I
solo like
solo
the
like
solo.
I
I
solo
still
like
like
a
it. So
solo.
that's that one. You know him.
You understand?
Yeah,
Might be a worker's line, but it's a line.
it's a line.
You understand? Yeah, it's a line. It's a line. Take it. Take it. So it's Solo's finest. All right. Moving on to Ogba's finest. All right. Welcome to Ogba. The
Our
I,
Titinzu,
come on, man. Sinzu. Who do you have in the solo? Who's repping the solo? You just making it look at you. Who's repping the solo? You see, nobody. Ogba. They have Sinzu. Source case Sinzu.
Amagix,
Sinzu is Sinzu.
Amagix,
Who is Sinzu?
Amagix, please. Amagix, thank
Magic.
you.
Magics. That's Maven in the building. At least.
We can
Ah,
claim Adekule
If him.
Gold though. He's a Kotsu, but he's near. We can claim Adekule Gold though. We're looking for something here,
Steve,
bro. Like let's
Steve.
just
I don't
we
think
can
it's you,
Mm,
Steve. I don't think it's you claiming is Adekunle God. You claiming him. Is Adekunle God willing to claim his solo? That's the first thing you should ask yourself first.
Okay, you know what? Oslade is it's not Oslade now. What's this guy's name? There's someone
Okay,
from
it's
Ijigbo
Sulere.
now. Oslade is
Oxlade,
true.
don't try
There's
it.
someone from Ijigbo. I've
But
forgotten. We can manage them now. We can just claim them and just you know.
You don't.
You know,
Chill with
Isolo is
your
the urban center for Ikotsu Ijigbo. Do you get?
all those ones you are
you
saying,
know I
my
like
brother.
Lagos. You know I like Lagos. When you
Uh,
mention some places, you already know the kind of atmospheres in those kind of places. Because two Ejigbo. It doesn't sound sexy, bro,
Yeah,
at all.
Amuwodofi,
Abuwa Dofi,
I think
Ajagbadi.
that's the local government of First Stack now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ajangbadi, you know.
Ah, no.
Uh,
Janiki.
uh, I mean, come on, Janiki is still cool because the school was there
Janiki
when
is
we
the,
were growing up.
yeah, the school was there.
Wanted to
That's
make
true. That's true.
white on white. Shout out to all the alumni with Janiki
Talking
listening.
about Ogba, I went
Yeah,
somewhere yesterday where I met a couple of
yeah,
acquaintances, like right, and two of them didn't drive, and they were looking for like ride. They were trying to book Uber. It was really expensive, and
yeah.
I thought about because it was in that Ikotun area, so I was thought about dropping them at Ogba, then following that round, following the express, and just coming home. But the only reason I didn't pick one of them because he came there with somebody who that was not his wife, and they were kissing. So the thing just pissed
Oh,
me off. I said, I don't go.
yeah.
I can't support. I can't give
Yeah.
support to adultery and fornication. I was
You
like, you
can't
know
be
what?
tied up in that nonsense.
I
Yeah.
can't. So that's the only reason I didn't give them a lift yesterday. I say, you carry woman, spend your money, book Uber. That's what I
Yes,
said
no.
in my mind.
In these financial times, there is no you must spend you have to spend your money.
Spend your money. So that's the only reason I didn't. I didn't. So I drove back home, 20 minutes, chilling. I was like, thank God I didn't even support you people. We should go and go and sleep.
Use your petrol for fornication and adultery. It's not necessary.
Oh man, to be
All right.
extra sure
Talking
again, I
about
asked another guy. I said, "Nah, why be that?" He said, "No, no, be right." I said, okay. I've made the right decision.
Lagos and adultery.
Oh my brother, the street is rough. What's man good do? Admin, how far now? What's happening? If you look distracted.
alrighty. So we're back in Ogba. Thank you for that side quest, Steve.
Thank you.
We're still in
You're
Ogba
welcome.
here. Ogba's finest in the building. Just mentioned Sinzu. I just remembered something that is also very unique in Ogba. I'm also surprised that you haven't name dropped it. You should be
What was
proud of
that?
Excellence Hotel.
Ah, Excellence Hotel number one. Number
Yeah,
one. What do you
But
mean?
is
hotel
it
is
still excellent? Is it still like thriving? Is it still like a popular sport for people?
It's excellent.
it has
It's excellent in name, but I don't know about in spirit. I
Okay,
don't know
okay,
about that
okay.
one.
you
In
Yeah.
can
operations.
tell us about the rooms.
Because
You can tell us about the rooms. When last did you book a room there, Ayo?
no, I don't
But
do. I
not-
don't do. I don't do home base because my farm is not home base. My farm is away. Yeah, hey, we do away. Then get pressing. Anyhow you want time. Mid block, low block, high block, everything day. We don't do. We don't do home. We don't do
Inverted
home.
winging. Inverted
Yeah,
winging.
you are telling me, bro, you know as they go.
anyone
Can
that you
work out
want,
things.
inverted full bags, anyone,
Yeah.
you are
Anyone,
ready.
tiki taka, anyone.
You know how to attack the half spaces.
Yes. And if it is a dicey situation, Samala dies. Long ball. Mark countdown.
Brexit.
Score your goal. They
Brexit.
go. Ready football. Around football.
You understand? Sean Dyche.
Yeah. But funny enough, I've never entered their rooms before. I've been to like their swimming pool, tennis courts. Actually have a nice tennis court and swimming pool though. And basketball area.
Okay.
So shout out to them. But I don't know about their
I mean,
rooms.
anytime I always came to hang out with, maybe to drop you off or pick you up or something, right? They were always doing weddings in there
No, that
every
no,
weekend.
bro. The event center booked Sunday like this. They don't get church. They already have like church service. Saturday event weddings. So they're quite stacked. They're quite stacked.
That's good.
So please always add it to your rooster. Ogba is
That's how
Ogba.
that's how that's our own hotel. That's our own
Uh-huh.
hotel.
You can always,
So
always add it to
If
your
you're not
roster.
careful, if you're not careful, I'm going to add WAEC building.
There's
why
WAEC,
this why this
there's NUJ, there's NIJ,
there's area G and
NIG.
the
Nigerian
area F
Institute of Journalism. Yeah, I used
And
to.
and
the
the area
school,
F.
the
I
school that
skipped there.
Steve
I
went to.
I did a postgraduate diploma there, and I trekked one day from their place to my to Isolo.
Mm-hmm.
See you bridging the gap. See you.
Literally bridging the gap.
You
Uh,
understand? So
uh,
please, please,
Uh,
I don't-
please. Right.
uh,
Is this is true Lagos. We have Isolo's
that road is not
finest. We have
that road is not
Ogba's
motorable.
finest.
Just so that you
That
guys
road
know.
is not
Anybody that's
motorable.
going to Akbar is fucked up now. Yeah.
Oh, the main
for
road.
real?
That main
That
road.
see, from that WAEC, NUJ, that police station messed up. It's just
I mean, I
from the
know
beginning of
whenever
Excellence
I used
Hotel.
to
After
pass
you
that
leave
place,
Excellence
I always
Hotel,
pass the big treat.
what do you say?
I always pass the big treat. I always pass the big treats side.
Oh yeah, you can. But that whole road after
You
Excellence
see,
Hotel, straight down to
It's done.
the police
To
station before you turn to the market, done, done for.
thank God, I didn't do that
Eh,
lift yesterday.
your shockers over for don't even spoil again. On top fornication, where you know
I made
fornicate.
you.
made the right
I made
move.
the right decision all around. I made the right decision. Oh
All
man,
right, all right. You're welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Loose Talk. You know as it goes. You know as it be. You know as we dey do am now, guys. Where's the ginger? What's going
you know,
on?
introduce
We
yourself
Where's
day,
now.
we day, we day,
Oh
we
You know,
yes,
day.
you know, introduce
yes,
yourself now.
yes.
Well,
I'm a man of different places. I'm a man. You got to give me. Should I take it from the beginning? Ikpaja's finest. You gotta
Just
bring.
give us the present one. Give us the present
Ikpaja's.
one. Thank you.
what's the
I
present
remember
one
when. I remember when Mr. Biggs first came to Ikpaja.
in Baja?
Oh my god. And
It
see,
was a moment.
he had that quality meat pie.
Yeah,
The hot one with
You
the
know
hot
that
inside steaming.
slap. Fuck.
vintage meat pie with
That
one
Mr. Big
Mm-hmm.
bottle
meat
of
pie used to
Coke.
slap.
Glass Coke, oh, not plastic Coke. It has to be
No,
glass
that
Coke with
glass,
straw.
that glass get extra flavor. It gets some extra flavor for inside.
Oh my god.
Did you guys see the
Mr.
popular
You know
TikTok
when I
video of a girl making Coca-Cola in her house?
No, I
yeah,
didn't see
yeah,
that video.
yeah.
Okay, I saw it.
She's been accused of jacking other people's content anyways.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Multiple times, if not even once.
Okay.
But now who
Yeah,
popular
go
pass?
on.
As they dey do am. Yeah,
Go
Ikpaja's
on.
finest.
Baja.
You know how we do.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Ikpaja? What do we have?
No,
Our
you guys have
tipaja.
Afrobeat
So
in
in terms of
yeah, a
artists,
lot of
we had Como Blastic, we had
yeah,
Como.
a lot of Afrobeats, you know.
Yeah,
What's the
come
name?
on, come
Jungle
on.
Don Mature.
Yeah,
Jungle Don Mature. Yeah, he
Mm,
accused Two Face of taking the record. Yeah, even though
yeah.
I don't know. We had Como Blastic. Yeah, then of course. I went to Sulere. I stayed in Sulere. So Sulere's
Sule
finest.
na cheat.
Do I
Sule
need
na
to
cheat.
explain?
See,
Do
two
I need to
places.
That's Sule.
explain? No, 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 no.
We can't give you Sule. You
Sulere,
know why? Because you didn't
Sulere
do
and
2 years
Festac.
there. You didn't do 2 years
Yeah.
in
I didn't.
Sulere.
What do you mean I didn't do 2 years in Sulere? I did
You didn't
two
do two
good
years.
years in Sulere. Yes, now. What are you
Is
talking
2 years
about?
Bro,
enough? Is 2 years enough? We're talking about
it's not
Oh,
decades, like
enough.
almost a decade now.
bro,
Man, 2 years is not
let
enough
me
now.
This
make
does
What do you
Solo
mean
know
this
you?
now?
Does
It's
Solo know
let me
you?
tell you.
misrepresentation. This is misrepresentation. I'm telling you.
Does
Actually,
Solo
you
know
see, I've won this argument. You know why? That guy that you're calling Solo that said, Whiskey said, even Solo
you?
say
Yeah,
I no go
yeah,
damn
no
lie or
go.
day
Yeah.
introduce me to the guy. So I know the guy.
Okay.
Okay.
This one, I
Uh,
met that guy, the Solo
But
guy,
first
I
of all,
met him.
I want to say something. Sule and
Yes.
Festac is no is cheat codes. We should not allow Sule and Festac to
exactly. We
be.
can't accept
Sulure's
it. We can't accept
finest.
it. We're not accepting it.
Excuse me, should
We're not
I
accepting
go
it.
into details of who has stayed in Sulere?
It's not.
I've
See.
stayed in first stack more than you stayed in Surulere. So why are you not calling me the first stack finest?
Oh yes, because still
Because you are
supposed to be the Festac
currently
finest.
As,
because you are currently no, because you are currently living in where? In Isolo like Isolo.
So why not currently repping where you are currently staying?
Because
Please.
I'm not currently living in Lagos. So I have to
Okay.
do all the
okay,
repping. You have to do an aggregate of
okay,
the
okay,
repping now.
okay. No wala,
You
no
understand?
wala,
You
no
understand?
wala,
You
no
So
understand?
wala.
Go
Sulere
on.
You see
alone.
the way you
And
see
that's
the way you
how
take land for this your logic. Okay, that's how INEC did it and landed on.
At 3 a.m. Say, and it's talking this, and they go house.
my brother, you
Continue,
can't run away.
continue.
You can't run away from the truth. So shout out to, of course, Sulere. I don't want to go into the details of how many people come from Sulere. It's the bedrock of
We can-
Afrobeats.
Easy.
Osage,
That's a
is
podcast
annoying.
episode.
You know why Sule is annoying? Because you can say, "Oh, I don't really want to work with Sule. I just do Ojuelegba." And
Yeah,
even if you go to
only
Ojuelegba, it's still there.
only Ojuelegba is a
It's
problem.
still there.
So
Sulere, we can face Afrobeats or we can face
exactly,
Nollywood.
Nollywood.
Or
Anyone you want,
bro,
they are ready.
bro,
The
Sule is a
AGN
cheat.
headquarters. The AGN
AJ now.
headquarters. The last time I knew
Winnie's
that it
Hotel.
was in Sulere.
Winnie's Hotel. That's where they used to audition people back then.
Like
Everybody they go audition you for that hotel.
The popular OJ's
you
bar
know,
is where? Is in
Rita
Surulere.
Uh,
Lorry.
Rita
ah,
Lorry. Rita Lorry chick forming Rita Ora. MI, two MI
You
references
understand?
now.
Yeah. So then I now move to Ojota. I have reminisce.
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Aga.
I have
Aga.
reminisce.
Aga is fine. Aga
You
is fine.
understand? So so
But
come on,
Sulere is a
guys.
fucking cheat. There's something about that town.
No,
That place is a fucking
Yeah.
cheat, man.
It's
yeah. Shout out to everybody that stayed in Surulere. Shout out to the Surulere guys. They call it the home of the wise guys. Surulere.
Yeah. Jimmy's from
you
there
see how
too.
Taki they like code himself. You know, say he don't stop for Jota. He no one talk the other one.
I
Uh,
go
They don't speak, they
Ogudu.
don't know.
Ogudu.
Okay.
Yeah. And
okay,
Reminisce moved to
okay.
Ogudu, so I'm still going to Reminisce again. Sorry. Because Reminisce also moved to Ogudu, so
They did, they
we're
did.
still and
Yeah,
Aga covers everywhere. Alaga
yeah.
Emile covers everywhere. So it's
Shout
one
out to
road now. Jota and
Reminisce.
Ogudu is one road.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
it's
one
one
road
road.
that
It's one
divides
road.
now.
It's
Yeah.
one road.
It's one road now.
It's one road.
Eh.
I passed there for my
So
estate
so
on Tuesday. I just
okay.
passed. I said memories.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
estate in Lagos.
I did tell you.
Yeah, one of actually one of the best. Yeah,
One
one
of
of
the
the
best
best.
actually.
Truly enjoyed it. Let's get into talking points. All right. 70,000 naira minimum wage for Nigerians.
Yes.
70,000 naira. Many
Woo!
do not want to commend the presidency for it because of how it compares in dollars to previous minimum wage amounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull out the news reports.
Yeah. The
I don't
okay,
have
okay, okay.
I don't have a news report,
I
but
think
we need
just the
to read.
reactions there to people, just giving their opinions on, how well the president has done in increasing it, or you know
Mm. All
um
right, let me read the news report. Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has okay. The report I'm seeing is from the BBC and it's BBC Pidgin. So please
Yeah,
pardon me, guys.
that's so.
Pre- yeah, President Bola Tinubu don't approve 70,000 naira, that is $43, as the new minimum wage for Nigerian workers, with promise say im go dey review the national minimum wage law every 3 years. He also promised to find ways to assist the private sector and the state governments to pay the money. The Nigerian leader announced the decision for the meeting he held with leaders of the organized labor unions, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), the Trade Union Congress (TUC), on Thursday 18th of July for the State House Abuja. Dis na 8,000 naira, that is $5 increase from the 62,000 naira, that is $38, the tripartite committee wey di president bin set up on minimum wage propose. That is, it was 62,000 naira they initially proposed, and
Yeah.
then he approved 70,000 naira. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, announced the information as he dey follow State House tori pipo talk. I
Mm.
love pidgin, man. Pidgin
So that's
is,
a pigeon.
I think pidgin should have been made a national language. I don't know about you guys.
It
What do you
should
think?
have been. Yeah, it should have been. A lot of Nigerians speak. I think
Yeah.
over 100 million Nigerians speak pigeon. So
I think there's no need to do that because it's already a national language now, right?
but just
Yeah,
formalize
but
it so
it's
that when
not.
somebody
It's
can
not.
send you a message, like a formal email now with pigeon. That's what we're talking about.
We don't need it because we have our local language already. Pidgin is not something. Although yeah,
Standardized.
Kenya does it.
But, that,
Kenya
but
does it with Swahili and English. Yeah.
I think my point is, um, if the language is the most popular in the country, Pidgin is the most popular language in Nigeria, right? Pidgin English.
It
It
should be. Yeah.
is the most widespread language in Nigeria.
So it's probably the
Yeah.
most spoken
Yes.
Yes.
Because there are people
because you
who
can
can't
speak
speak English but can speak pigeon English.
and understand Pidgin English,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I believe it should be it should then be formalized. The problem about it is that it's just a it's a type of it's a how
It's not a
like it's
language per
broken
se. It's not. Yeah,
broken
it's not
English, right?
recognized as a language. That's the thing.
It's a bastardized
Yeah,
So
form of
officially,
English.
it's not
of
officially.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not recognized as a language. So even when in data and stuff like that, so the most popular languages in Nigeria, you get to see Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, like so. Pidgin English officially is not a
And
language. It's
but
a
what's the point of language?
it's
Speak and
communication.
communicate, man.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think it's
If the
because it's
point
like
of
an
language,
adulterated version of English. That is why it's not being accepted.
Yes. Yes.
thank you, Ayo, that was the word I was looking for, adulterated. But okay, fine, it's adulterated, but it's the most popular language in a country, right? And if the
Yeah.
purpose of language is to further unify people, like when everybody speaks, you can understand, and if it's the most popular, then why don't we then standardize it? And then why don't we teach pidgin English? I'm trying to see the cons here of speaking, of teaching, and nationalizing pidgin English as a national language.
I have no idea. We have to talk to the linguistic professors for that one.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't see any. I only see pros here. I do not see any cons.
There must be a con
You
somewhere
guys
that we
are
don't know
both of
about.
you on your phone.
No, I'm actually searching for patois. Sorry.
It's
Okay,
Pidgin
so
English.
because yeah, no, Jamaican patois, also known as Jamaican Creole or patois, is not an official language of Jamaica. So I'm guessing if
Yeah.
patois, which is very popular, is not an official language in Jamaica, then there must be it must tally with the pidgin English.
It's a curl. Yeah, it's not a. I don't. It's not recognized. So, but I understand what Osage is saying that if it does the purpose of like helps us to communicate, it should be recognized as a language.
Maybe because it doesn't
Do you
follow like the
understand?
rules of grammar and lexicon and diction and some things. Like linguistic people will
But
know.
you know what? I'm going to type pidgin English alphabets. Let me see. Somebody must have.
Like English alphabets already now. That's the point.
No, no, but
That
pidgin
English.
is. I mean, when I'm saying alphabets now, then it goes into like pronunciation. It goes into like
Okay. Okay.
phonetics
Okay.
and all
Okay.
of this.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And because all those things now tie back into, like, story is English, right? The pidgin version is
Yes.
story.
Tori. Tori.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm seeing it here: vowel and diphthongs and consonants, and they're a bit different, guys.
Hmm.
I'm going to
Mm,
advocate for this.
okay. We are behind you, solidly behind you. The
I'm
Ministry of,
telling
is
you,
it
I
Ministry
don't.
of
You
Language?
guys have not given me any call so
I'm not an expert on
far. Huh?
pidgin, so I don't know. I'm not an expert on linguistics, so I don't know.
See, I'm reading from a website here. It's called Bilingual Bible in Nigeria, Pidgin and English. How
My
to
own
read
point
Hmm.
and
is,
write Nigerian Pidgin. Right? It says the Nigerian Pidgin alphabet (NPA) is not the English alphabet. It is similar to the alphabet of many Nigerian languages. It is also similar to Cameroon Pidgin and Creole, which is Sierra Leone Pidgin alphabets.
Yeah.
Nigerian Pidgin alphabet is, however, unique to Nigerian Pidgin. There are 30 letters in the Nigerian Pidgin alphabet. It can be written in capital and small letters. All right. So 30. Nigeria is what? I mean, I say Nigeria. The English alphabet is 26. The
Mm.
vowels are 7 and the consonants are 23.
Wow.
Right. So you
hmm,
have consonants like B, which you have in English, but you also have consonants like CH. You have consonants like GB. You have consonants like KP. Right. So when you say post
Mm.
lifestyle, post,
Yeah. Post. Yeah.
it's pidgin now.
This,
Ehen.
so this guy should apply for the language to be recognized now. On these people that wrote it.
Do you understand? Then he also goes into like the tone marks, right? So, for
Uh.
example, you
Mm-hmm.
have father in English, and father in pidgin is what?
What's
Papa
that? Pale.
in
Is what? What
pidgin.
did you say? Is
Is it
what?
Papa?
What did you say?
Pole, pale,
Papa,
papa,
right?
papa,
Mm.
and
All
not
those
papa,
pale,
papa.
you don't dey go another level. We go
Okay,
guys,
okay,
That
we
you
na
go
don't,
the
guys,
you don't
PhD.
need deep.
Pale na PhD.
we go guys,
That is PhD level.
we go guys,
Now the
we go guys
More do the
gentrify am
national
small.
one. More don't go.
we don't go too deep.
And then the
We should do
national
the
acceptance
Shoinka.
level,
We do the
After
at the
Shoinka
pale,
national
pidgin
literate
one.
level.
Okay. No give them
after
Shoinka
you go
pidgin, I
pale,
beg.
after you go pale, you go do pile. All those ones no
I
deep.
don't know what's going on.
Let's gentrify it a bit. Okay, so you said father is what? Father is what again?
I say papa,
Papa.
not papa, papa.
Good. Then what is exactly? Elderly man is what?
Hmm,
Papa now.
papa.
It's papa. Exactly.
Oh, Papa.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are
That's true. That's true.
papa. Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know,
Papa and Papa.
there's
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
different.
the same thing for mother.
Yeah, it's
Mama,
true. It's true. It's
Oh,
true.
mama.
It's true.
Mama.
It's true.
Mama.
Same
Oh,
spelling,
my
but
intonation, the
yeah,
intonation there is true. It's
but the
true.
intonation, yeah, intonation makes it different. That's true.
Gives you
You
context.
understand? So there's sister, which is what? Sisi. And then there's
Sissy.
sixpence, which is what? Shishi.
Oh.
All these things matter. Do you understand? All these things matter. So uh, tone marks, they are the high and low tones of Nigerian pidgin vowels. They are different things. I'll send you guys this. I will also put this in the show notes for you guys to review. I think it can be made an official language because this is the most. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong. The linguistic professors and the professionals here, but I believe if I go to the north and I speak pidgin, right, and this also, there are some people that don't speak pidgin. We know
Yeah,
this,
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But we also know when you are leaving your language and you're moving into another language, the first language you interact with is pidgin.
Yes, no, yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes,
We know.
yes.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't have a
Not
problem
speaking,
making. I
not
don't have a
speaking
problem.
pidgin, not speaking pidgin and English also means like a deeper level of illiteracy and unexposure. Do you get?
Ah,
Especially in the
that
Nigerian
literacy
context,
go.
you go
Yeah,
That
somewhere and
literacy
they
go
don't speak
strong.
English, they don't
yeah.
speak pidgin English. That means like trenches, trenches. Do you get?
Now real trenches with that one.
Do you get? Yeah, no, it happens now. It happens now. I've seen like people like that in rural areas who can't speak pidgin English. It's only their native language. So
Oh,
It's not even
yeah.
trenches. That one, you're not exposed. You're not.
that's what I'm
You're like
saying. You're
Not
not
even
you're
exposed.
exposed.
Yeah,
fully
you're not
It's
rural.
rural
exposed
life
to.
self. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rural. Yeah, you're not exposed to it. Yeah, trenches too, sure. If you look at it.
Anyways, back to this whole, 70,000 naira. That's just $43, guys.
Yeah, we
Yeah, but
know,
that's
but
but isn't that a reality?
But what they're saying now is you've increased it to 70,000 naira, right? And we're coming
Yeah.
from where? We're coming from 29,000, I believe.
thirty
Thirty
No,
thousand.
thousand.
we're coming. Yeah, we're coming from 30,000. We're all the way to 70,000 now. But
More
if you
than
then
double now.
calculate, so
Okay.
if you look at the inflation that has happened over this period of time, and then you look at the increase, is it proportional? It's
No,
not.
it's
It's
not.
Is
not.
it?
It's
Yeah.
not.
I thought
I
that,
mean, if you're coming from 30,000,
mhm.
if you're coming from 30,000, right? That's a hundred and over 100% increase,
Above 100%.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you also look at what has happened economically, the inflation
In proportion to
rates,
the strength
and
of our
also
currency and inflation. Yeah.
You know what Tinubu
yes,
told
yes,
Labour? He told Labour the reason why Labour accepted was that, look, I can increase it to 200k, but if I increase it to 200k, I'm increasing the price of oil. That's what he told them, and that's why they accepted 70k at the end of the day. So I don't think 70k is like realistic in this time that we're in. But I think this is what the federal government says they can. They can. It's not only the federal government that we should also look at. State governors have also
State
been
governments
shouting that
can they be able to pay it? Yeah.
some states can't
And
even pay the
even private
30k.
sector. Yeah.
Yeah, now 70k is going to be an issue. Federal government will have to bail out many states again to pay for a civil service, which doesn't make sense.
So that means more IMF loan.
And you know IMF now, they love that shit, man. Come to
Yeah.
us. Come to us at the end of the day. So I
there's
think
somebody that tweeted.
yeah.
All right, someone on Twitter says in 2011, when Goodluck Jonathan's administration increased the minimum wage from 7,500 naira to 18,500, 18,000 naira, $1 was around 165 naira. Man, that sounds like a dream. A dollar to 165 naira.
Hey, more.
That sounds like it, man. 165 naira, bro.
Swear down.
But I want to ask,
Ah,
at that time, was that the real price of the naira, or was it just basic? Like they were, how will I call it now? They're manipulating it.
no, no, that was black market.
That was black
Okay,
market.
okay, all right,
That
all
was the
right.
black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
165. 2011. Worst case,
Mm,
170, 175.
Yeah.
All right, so he
175.
says so 18,000 naira back then was $109, right? US average. Today, 70,000 naira, right, which is the new minimum wage, is $43. So this information is for people who think 70,000 naira is a lot of money. It's not. And the major problem here, right, which you have to put in context, is because is that we're importing everything we consume.
Yeah.
So if we import everything we consume, okay, I remember what I was saying. Nana, pick it up from here. So someone asked me, "Oh, Sage, you always say we import everything we consume. We get it, but like we're buying dollars, but we don't buy dollars. We go to the store and buy everything in naira." I'm like, "No, you're not. You don't understand it. The store owner, right? Everything they put in the store that you come to buy in the store, they purchase everything from outside the country. It
yeah,
means that when the store owner goes to purchase these goods, they have to convert that naira
into
to
dollars.
the foreign currency, right? A universal exchange is the universal exchange is usually dollars. So they have to convert it to dollars, right? And then purchase these items. Now, because your currency is weakening by the day, they set the price to the equivalent of what the
Of the
naira
dollar.
is.
Yeah.
Or I mean, they set the naira price to the equivalent of the dollar, rather, right? And then they charge you for it. So you see a price that was at 100 naira in this month, your naira weakens. They change it to the foreign currency. Now they need to change more to buy the same good
Yeah.
or the same goods. The goods, the dollar price of the goods are not changing. It's the same price.
Mm,
Maybe over a period of time, there's like a small bump, but you get my point. It's nominal,
yeah.
but the naira is so weakened. So when they set and convert it back, there's an increase in the naira. And so you are essentially, when you go to the store, you are essentially buying that product in dollars because the
Mm-hmm.
product is imported, because it's
Yeah.
not made here. So from your plastic to your deodorant to some of your food items, I mean, all the frozen food items, they are coming from outside the country now.
Yep.
Yep.
Your
All
chicken,
of them.
your turkey,
Yeah. Yeah.
your please, before we go into any other thing and we move further, turkey, eh? Turkey.
Mm.
Why be saying na only turkey wings with the chop? Where's the remaining part of the turkey?
It did.
I'm sure it's somewhere else. It go there somewhere else, sir.
Do you
What
has
do you
that?
mean?
There was one day I was just eating the turkey. I'm like, where are the other parts of this turkey? That is only this
Maybe
turkey.
it's not in
What we
demand.
always what we always eat is the wings, right?
Yeah, normally, yeah.
Yeah, because chicken, at least you see drumstick, you see the,
Uh
you can see
everything
chicken
there
breast,
for
you can see,
everything there
That's a
for
but
very
turkey,
important. That's a
turkey,
very
you just
important
talk.
point.
I'm like, okay, where are the other parts of this turkey? What is going on?
true that.
Anyways, so look at all the things you are buying, from machineries to food items to agricultural produce. There was that whole list. Who was the person? Who was the governor? I think it was Soludo. I think it was taken a bit out of context when he said um Nigerians need
We love
to
our love
quench
for
their
foreign
thirst for
things,
foreign
for foreign
things,
products.
right? And that thing pissed Steve and I off, and we went to look for the data of the things that are consumed the most, that we import, right? That are consumed the
Yes.
most. And what foreign taste? It wasn't even up to 10% of the things we consume.
Yeah.
Do you
Gaslighting from
understand?
Nigerian politicians as
One
usual.
of the highest imports that we have is pulp,
Hmm.
that is used to make paper, used to make pencils, whatever. The lead in your pencils, your HB pencils or whatever, we import it,
Yes.
right? And we are not exporting as much. That's the problem with all the natural resources we have. We're not farm. We
So
import the refined oil.
so I have to ask a question, right? Why isn't Nigeria an exporting country? What is that magic? That's
Because
so-called
you're not
Herculean
well,
task.
you're not a producing country. You're not producing anything.
So why are we not producing?
Because there's no capacity to. There's no electricity. There's no
Now here they
security.
go. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. So
And
the politicians that are in
let's take
power.
it one more layer. Let's take it one more layer.
Okay.
Why don't we have the capacity to do these things, Steve?
Because we don't have the resources to do them. We don't have electricity. It's expensive to produce in Nigeria.
Why don't we have those things?
Why don't we have electricity
Wow.
and security? And they go somewhere.
Because
And they go the cocoa of the matter.
because we've not been able to infrastructurally we've not invested in it enough. We've invested in it enough in terms of the money, but some operational challenges in terms of corruption, inefficiencies, people
Aha,
don't not
you have
knowing what to
landed.
do.
It's
So
okay.
Yeah.
You have landed at the big C.
who is now in charge to fix these problems?
It's the
That's
government,
my
the
own.
people who vote, the
Oh,
people
the
who
people
say
that we
we
vote for every 4 years. Okay.
yes, since
So if they don't do
1960.
their job, shouldn't they be fired?
They should, but I
Okay.
can't
That's
fire
all I
my
wanted
tribe,
to.
someone from my tribe. Why would I
From your
fire someone
village.
from my
Yeah, I
village? I
understand.
can't
I
fire the person
understand.
now.
Okay. All right. Now that we know the
The
problem, we're
existence of
good.
my life is driven by me, by the president or my governor coming from the same tribe as me. Yeah,
True,
that's
true,
the
true.
most important thing. Please,
That's true.
we should.
That's true.
It's priority. You are prioritizing competency and people doing their job. Where my own is
Please,
my
man.
own person should be the governor of the president.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you know, let's learn priorities.
Your
This is my own priority for
your
now.
your own is Agboronu. They actually they actually gaslit some people to vote incompetent people into power because they have the same tribe. Oh
See what
But it
you're
my
works
god!
now.
saying?
But it
Like
works now.
Oh
it works. It
my
works.
It
god!
works.
Yeah, it
It
works.
works.
This
Clearly.
this is crazy.
It
Somebody
is
built
actually.
his whole campaign on "It is my turn to rule."
Yep.
Yes, sir.
No, it didn't come to debates. Nothing. Yeah,
Debate. What is the debate?
yeah. Look at how a single
Anyways,
debate has driven the Democratic Party into like a crisis just because somebody did not do well
just
in
one
a
debate.
debate. Just one
The one
debate.
debate. Red
Do you
alert.
understand?
They're sweating right now.
I swear. So
Just
yeah,
one debate.
we've
Just
not
one
gotten our
debate.
priorities right, and that's why we're suffering for it. But I think what people don't understand about, and I'm not sure if Osage has like Osage, I'm sure Osage can even explain it better than me. Why? what causes a currency to lose its strength, right? When you use it to go and buy foreign currency, and how it affects the prices of that currency. Do you get the state of that currency? For example, because there's a trade deficit in Africa, in most part of Africa, trade deficit means that we import more than we export. It means that people
Yeah.
are like we are buying more dollars than people are buying naira. Do you
Mm.
get?
Yeah.
That's it. That's just the summary of it. Because people are buying some, because we are buying more dollars, that means dollars are scarce in the market, right? We're not bringing in enough, because the only way to bring in dollar is when people pay you for
Mm-hmm.
what you are producing, what you're exporting. But because we don't have it, that's why our currency is always suffering. So the state of the currencies determines, like, is driven by the amount of production that a country, undertakes, the amount of export, that a particular
And this has
country does.
affected our minimum wage, Abby.
Yes, because now is over 100% increase, but trust me, it's almost still nothing, because you can't even buy a bag of rice to start with. When
Yeah.
when when they increased it from 18,000 to 30,000 naira, I think a bag of rice was about 26 or 27,000 naira, right?
Just
That means someone
manageable.
can even afford, exactly, is manageable. Now you can't even afford to buy a bag of rice with a with a monthly salary, with a month salary in Nigeria. And yeah, it's just
This
like we're
salary, oh,
living.
Yes, because
Yeah,
bag of
sorry.
rice is now more expensive,
Yeah.
or is
well, it's
more
over 100K now.
is what more than is what more than your
Minimum
monthly
wage in
minimum.
Nigeria. Yes. That's why what's
Hmm.
the name of that guy, that Twitter account that tweets like what statistics or something. He couldn't believe when somebody told him. He
He went out of
couldn't believe
character. He
he
said,
went
"What?
out of he went out of character immediately. Do you
That
get?
social media manager for don't cry that day." Like what?
Yeah, it couldn't believe it. He said, are you serious?"
Oh, I'm looking for that tweet. My God, I'm looking for that tweet. He did I think he did a before and after, like what it was like, what the minimum wage was like before and after, right? And someone
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it's less than $50." Then the,
Yeah,
the
something
guy
like that.
commented and said, "You're kidding me, right?"
$50 for a month.
Uh,
Do you get?
Ooh la
no,
la.
so is it safe to say that the private sector is really carrying a lot of things in this
Why do you
country?
say so?
No. Wow, what do you say so?
Yeah, because obviously that's not the minimum wage in most private companies, right? That's not the minimum wage
Why do you say
Hmm?
so?
There's
What are
some
you
in
companies
most
that
saying?
still
private
pay
companies.
30K.
What are you saying?
Bro.
So saying? People are
Okay,
that banks
you
are
know
that
what?
collecting 50K,
No, I was looking at it
40K.
through the lens of like Lagos companies. I was
They
looking at it through the
crazy.
lens of
Even
Lagos
Lagos
companies. Like
companies
if you, because
self
if
on
you,
cycling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lagos company itself.
Hmm.
And no, 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 no. Lagos companies, you look at the average is way higher now. Come on, uh-uh.
Bro,
How much is entry level at private companies?
bro. And I know a private school that's paying teachers 35,000 naira in 2024.
Damn.
What are you saying? Come on now. Like these are not like entry
Okay,
level
I had
teachers.
the
These are
clear
people who
bias. I had
just
the
finished
clear
from
bias.
school.
To be
Yeah.
honest, when I said it, I looked at it through like the lens of banks and like top
Banks,
companies and all
and
that.
yeah,
Uh,
and the
But
kind of
like
places
that's
that
just one
work and stuff
percent.
like that.
that's just
That's
1%
just one
now.
percent. No. Yeah.
So if a bag of rice is more valuable than your minimum wage, what
Yeah. Where do you
the
go
what
from there?
the,
What are you going to
what the
get?
federal government is trying to tell you is that what the federal government is trying to tell you is that, or the government is trying to tell you is that that deficit, go and hustle it by yourself. Any means necessary.
Yeah. Which means when,
Or more.
for example, like, let me give you an example. Let me give you a real use case for this thing that you just explained. So I'm a civil servant in the Ministry of Health
Yeah.
in a local government. I'm posted to a local government, maybe in like Delta State or Edo State or Imo State. And the World Health Organization distributes like because of our problems with mosquito and malaria in Nigeria. There's like, let's
Mm-hmm.
distribute some, just maybe it's 3 million, 4 million tons of mosquito
Mosquito
nets to
nets.
Nigeria, right? And deliver it to the last mile. And when I mean the last mile, to rural areas through the Ministry of Health, right? And I'm earning 70,000 naira, and I get, maybe, let me just use an example, 20,000 mosquito nets to distribute to my people in the rural area that I've been posted to. Because I earn 70,000 naira and I can't buy a bag of rice, right? I will have to sell those mosquito nets for
It's
five
common
five
sense. You
thousand.
have to, yeah.
It's simple to be able to eat, to be able to survive in Nigeria. And that's how these things develop into like bigger, like at that point you might say, oh, is greed born out of like really this survivor instinct or the need to survive or the need to eat. But it grows from there into that same person, it just becomes a way of life. That same person now being in charge of a 20 million naira project. It takes 50 million naira, it delivers 5 million naira with work products, materials, and moves on. Then the person goes to another a higher office, gets 50 million naira, it takes 40 million. That's how corruption continues to like really dissipate the quality of the country, and that's why we are suffering till
Hmm.
today.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
just
and then the person will come and wear a jeans jacket worth over £2,000.
yeah. And when you complain, they'll
And
tell you that you are envious or you're jealous. That it
they're
doesn't matter. That
obvious.
you,
There is
yeah,
God's grace on their life.
And then
yes.
a band beside him will sing.
I'm saying, that band thing,
This man,
it's not the band thing
this man
it's not the band thing that
like,
is surprising me. Oh. Is that he will come out with the band and people who should be working during that a productive peak period will come out and be looking at the governor singing.
let me give you an argument based on Nigerian logic. Osagi, I put it to you that you are not right to criticize Wike's band because that band they're being paid and he's employing
That they
people
employed. Yeah.
and are being employed. The band member is feeding his family. The band
Mm.
member they have a piano player, a guitar player, a drum player. They have the lead singer. These four guys are also paying people that's spending money and is increasing the economy of the country. You know where I got this logic from? When someone on Twitter was complaining about the POS business, someone said the POS family, the POS guy is a graduate who does not have a job. This POS scheme gives him a job to feed his family. So the POS thing is okay, is right. I'm like, what sort of logic?
I wanted to say you sound like that guy called Eginupe lawyer. I haven't seen a bigger buffoon than that guy.
Oh God.
A
So
total
that's
buffoon.
Nigerian logic, you know. Um,
Okay. On the other side, some people will say the government can't afford more than 70,000 naira. Even
yeah,
some states are going to struggle
they're
with
going to be in
paying
trouble.
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, so
definitely. Definitely.
we can complain from now to tomorrow, but is it really
affordable
this government's fault that they can't afford it? Because this is a combination of problems that we are facing.
for a long
It didn't
time.
start when
It's a
this
continuum. Yeah.
dispensation, came into power.
Yeah,
So we can't afford 70,000. He's moved it from what? He's doubled it, more than doubled it
More
to
than
get to
doubled it.
seventy
Yeah.
thousand, right? Can he do anything? You can't do more than your power now.
yeah.
Yeah. You can't actually do more than what you
It's very
can, what the
funny
state
that
can actually.
it's very funny that the government thinks this way when it comes to serving the citizens and their people, and not when it comes to their own cost, the cost of their own governance. You don't have money to pay for salaries. Fine, we can admit that Nigeria is broke. The federal government is broke. We don't have enough assets, revenue acquiring assets. That's why everybody now is everybody they chook. CBN now they are going after money in dormant accounts in banks and stuff like that. Everybody's angry because they're looking for money. It's a very, very legit argument to make. But I can't listen to that argument when you guys are earning ridiculously. You guys are spending money recklessly. You are spending on vice president residence. You are spending on a new presidential fleet for a country that claims to be poor. The poverty is not showing in your own cost. The cost
Mhm.
of governance. Why is it
You
showing
guys
in
are
what you pay?
balling.
You guys
You
are
guys are
balling.
balling out.
Tell me that the economy is shit and a minister in the Federal Republic is wearing a designer of almost 5 million naira, right? In one stand. And you're telling me that you people are broke? No,
Another one
no.
is rocking a $50,000
$50,000 wristwatch.
wristwatch.
Do you
I've
get?
said it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Mhm.
Lawmakers are driving in cars worth
In ridiculous
140
cars,
million
yes. They
naira.
said they can't 120
That's
million naira cars. They can't buy sedan
that's
because the road is
2,000.
bad.
Uh,
Do you understand? A lawmaker came on TV and said the reason they're not buying sedan because Nigerian road is bad.
The guy said, "But Shehu, you know this now. If we buy sedan, I go 2, 3 trips. That car is bad now. You know Nigerian roads. Shehu, come on."
I don't blame that
The
guy.
guy,
Oh. I blame his
the Shehu,
constituency.
the Shehu guy was bewildered. He couldn't even say anything.
He was flabbergasted.
Do you
Before good.
understand?
Yes.
150,
Man,
140 million naira will pay 2,000 workers their monthly salary.
140
Bro,
million naira will build two world
Yes.
class mini football pitches in a solo local government area where boys are looking for where to do any sort of sports. Right? Now, like if you go to a typical secondary school, a primary public school in Isolo, you have like 4 or 5 football clubs dragging for space all through the day. People don't
hmm
have any in a solo local government like this. There's no one. We don't have a one standard football pitch. Do
you
you
know
get
that's a
like that's
problem.
something?
You know that's a problem. That's a problem in Lagos. We do not have enough sports centers
We
for
don't
young
have enough
people
sports centers.
to
One of the
develop
guys
their
that I met
talent.
yesterday was complaining that he's paying ridiculous amount of money for school fees, but the school does not have a space where the children can even run 100 meters,
You see,
and it's
and
paying
that is
ridiculous amount of.
essential.
And that's
That's essential
essential in
for a
the
young
development
person.
of yes. So where do you people do sports? Like it's just 150 million naira wristwatch. Come on now,
Give
you
that to
get
one. Give that 150 million to Futo or something. They go first calm down
yeah,
for 1 year. They go first. The eye go first calm down. They not go even want go strike for like 1 year.
bro. Telling me go to the national stadium every Saturday in the morning. You see boys, you know that you see boys playing football on them hard roads. Like that's how much
Yeah,
packed it is.
that
Don't have
place. Yeah,
space. Yes, people don't have spaces. Do you get build pitches around for people to go and from there you start developing sporting talents. That's for sports. Have you been to a public school in Lagos? Bro, have you been to a public school? Go to the public school around you, Ayo, and see what 150 million naira will do for them. So you can't continuously tell me that you guys are broke. You can't be able to afford. I understand that, but I still don't understand why people are spending ridiculous amount. You don't think twice when you want to spend for yourself, but you start bringing up excuses anytime you want to pay the people. It doesn't make sense. It's not even a comment.
There has been no cut down on your allowances. There
Oh,
has been no
thank you.
reduction in any of the thing all on any of your packages that you take home.
Yeah.
But you want Nigerians to do what? To brace for impact. You want Nigerians to
Yes.
tighten their belts. But the
Yes.
lawmakers and the people in power, you're not.
You're not. Very good. So
Make we
it's
just the make we just the look, Abby.
yeah.
to be fair, the Nigerian
Yeah.
rep said they are slashing their salary, not their
They're not
allowances,
slashing.
their
They're not
salary
slashing.
by fifty
They're
percent for
giving
6 months.
50% of their salary to for 6 months. But my problem is that what's the trackability? Can I be able to
Yes,
track?
no,
If they don't do it, will you know?
bro, we don't even know how much they collect every month with allowances and
I do
everything.
you thank you. So thank you. I don't to even start with, there's no transparency in how much they collect. So how would I even know that they've given up 50%? You know.
How to
Leave
wear.
those ones leave
So,
that statement. As I saw that story, I moved on. I didn't I'm like I'm too nobody's going to, lie to me blatantly again.
And I don't think, Nigerians realize how much is being wasted, how much is going to these lawmakers and how unnecessary some of these things are. And I think that's why um there's no pushback, there's no protest around it because we've not been able to quantify the impacts. We've talked about this before. Someone tweeted it and said, when they report these millions stolen by politicians, right? Whether they're stealing it, so we're talking about money being stolen or allowances now, right? It says, I like us to report it in terms of the opportunity cost. Like rather
Thank you.
than say politician stole $1 billion, right?
Yes.
Report it as they stole 800 hospital beds, two light rails, and 3,000 units of affordable housing.
Thank you.
We need to be able to, I think I had this conversation with Steve over the week. We need to be able to connect incompetence, stolen wealth, right? And
yeah.
misappropriation of funds to the impact it has in a society, short term and
hmm
long term.
Yeah. I think then we'll
We've
begin
not,
to add two plus two together.
you understand? Like the allocation of funds has led to um um the research team not being able to carry out some specific research which has impacted the health situation in that certain
Thank you.
Yeah.
local government.
Yeah.
As a result, 1,000 people have died.
Within that period. Yeah.
We must find a way to connect these things, because with not connecting it, people are just going scot free.
Yep.
Bro. People are not only going
Yep.
scot
It's
free.
a
The people that is
it's a
affecting,
big problem.
yeah, the people that is affecting will now go on the streets and now protest that you should leave this person alone, that you are persecuting their kinsmen.
Yes, there's no
Like
public
when you
shaming of
see,
people who put us in these positions. That's my problem.
and
Like,
I, but I think that's the problem. People are finding it hard to connect it. Like if you see your lawmaker, right, riding in a 140 million naira
yeah,
SUV,
it should be seen. It should be in quality water system in your village. That's what you should be
Mhm.
seeing
one,
as that driving that car.
you
Yes,
yes, that this the pipe bomb water that could have reached here, or the
this is.
sanitation
Thank you.
project that would have solved the
Thank you.
mosquito issue in this place. So
Yep.
right,
Yep.
this
What
is
you are
what this guy
riding.
is driving away.
Yes.
So that connection needs to be made. And people like
Yeah.
Budget and Tracker, they kind of, with their
They do it.
infographics and the information they put out, they do a lot of work. But I think it needs to be further driven onto a
It's not
local
driven
level.
down. Yeah.
It needs a
Onto
grassroots.
a
It needs to
very
penetrate
local.
that grassroots.
Yes. It really
Because
needs to
sometimes
penetrate that
their breakdowns are quite intellectual. You have to sit down and no, you need it like take it to the basic level that 2 plus 2 is 4. See what is happening. And that is
Yep.
affecting your
like
life.
if a young boy's mother is ill and dies because she couldn't get hospital treatment on time, the boy should be able to connect it to the incompetence of the lawmaker or whoever, or the local government chairman, or whoever is in charge of releasing funds for health insurance in that
Mhm.
specific local government. Do you get my point? And you should look
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
it as, because this man is greedy, my mother couldn't get the health insurance and that's why she's dead.
yeah.
Yes.
And this is what
Thank you.
advanced societies do. Somebody must be held responsible. Whenever there's a lapse in the system,
That's why
somebody
you
must
see.
be held responsible.
That's why you see the story of someone resigning or someone being
Mhm.
sacked for like tragedies or incidents that bring up like tragedies, right? So it's very funny when the opposite happens in Nigeria. They instead they celebrate them, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't think we've been critical like we've how Nigerians have had enough critical thinking to start think rationalizing this way to say once this person is doing this and is being corrupt or is misappropriating our money, this is the suffering that we get from it. This is how it affects me and my family. You know, once we're able to connect that dot, I think it will be easier. You know,
All right, let's keep it moving. The special advisor for information and strategy
Mhm.
to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his name is Bayo Onanuga, has accused supporters of past presidential aspirant Peter Obi of planning protests in Nigeria and linked the obedient movement to IPOB. This is
Is
crazy.
that
yeah,
concrete evidence or is it just tweeting about it?
it's just
Th-
concrete evidence. Okay? He just went on a full rant on Twitter. You know,
This is
breaking
up to a
news.
thousand
Just
words.
yeah, it's
I'm not even going to
nonsense.
read this, but
It's
we've kind of
nonsense.
captured it in what I said.
Yeah,
It's before we go into what he said and the dangerous rhetoric he's put out and how dangerous this can be. It's
yeah,
just sad how spokesmen of Nigerian presidents have moved from bad to worse.
yep, yeah. Every year, yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Every administration. Yeah.
we used to complain about Remioyo back then. We didn't know what was coming.
I think
And
they've
God rest her soul. Right, she's
yeah.
passed away. But to be honest, she's a queen compared to these gentlemen in power. She's a queen. We've moved from
Obviously.
Abati
Mm-hmm.
to additional
Mm-hmm.
to Onanuga. And it just
Yeah.
goes from bad to worse
You
with
miss
how they
Loretta.
open their mouth and they, oh my God, oh my God,
Samson's baby, Samson's BFF.
what a man can do.
The Uber can do. Obviously, I think is a formula that every presidential administration in Nigeria is taking right now. You build a
I
media
think
team, and one
yeah,
person in that media team is the attack dog that is ready to go rough, that is ready to hit the streets and hit you below the belt. And it
yeah,
seems our daddy, Bayo is the one that is in charge of that. He's the one in charge of I fuck everybody up. I don't give it down. So I'm not surprised he's doing this.
I thought
mean,
Abati was like
what was going
bad.
to be the worst
Do you understand? Then you saw additional, and additional was the one that really took it to the
to the
gutters.
gutters,
Yeah.
yeah. But some,
Personal
yeah,
level.
You
yeah.
know, he was on I don't give an F kind of level. But what I'm seeing here now, this is ethnic.
Yeah.
What's the phrase?
I don't
Is
even know
this?
ethnic baiting or ethnic. I
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
technique baiting, spread.
I
It's,
don't know
yeah,
if
but
additional even did
maybe
this. I don't even think
No.
additional did this. Additional
additional
zone was
didn't do
just
this. The additional
you
didn't go
know
this low. Yeah,
additional was just whalers and
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
It was
Mhm.
This
political.
is
It kept it very, very
yes.
political. These people are keeping it tribal, like down, bottom barrel
This is
level.
what he did during the elections. If anybody knows, during
So,
that
and
election,
that's
especially when Tinubu lost Lagos, this is what Bayo
thank
was
you.
doing. He was
So in
attacking
one
Igbos
way,
heavily.
yeah, in one way, I want to even applaud him, right? For I want to applaud the Tinubu presidency and or the APC campaign or whatever people who came up with that line of attaching the obedient movement to like violence, oppressing, being oppressive and stuff like that, right? Because you know why I would do that? In 2011, right, we had a presidential candidate who lost an election, right? And after he lost the election, he made some dangerous comments about, urging his supporters to defend their votes,
Yeah.
and urging them to fight to the finish, right? After he lost that election, talking about Buhari, a lot of riots broke out in the north,
Yeah.
that targeted, obviously, like Easterners, right? And killed over 800 people. 800 people died, in the post-election violence of 2011. When Buhari came back in 2015, nobody attached that violent followership tag to him, right? Nobody did it. Consistently in Peter Obi's career as a politician, he has always been the man of due process. Due process in the sense that you can't catch Peter Obi anywhere urging anybody to go and protest or urging anybody to fight for him. Peter Obi will
Yeah.
tell you that my children are in the UK and in America. I'm not going to tell other people's children to go and be protesting or be rioting for me. It's irresponsible. I can't do that. When this man lost the election, that same day he gave a speech and urged and preached peace and said, listen, there's no need to protest, there's no need to do anything. Because at that point in that election, if it was someone as dangerous as Buhari,
Hmm.
a riot would have broken out in Nigeria, or a protest at least. Peter Obi didn't allow that. He said, you know what, I
Of
trust
course.
the court system to do what they do. He went to the courts, all through the Supreme Court, he lost. He still remained calm and said, you know what, let's move on and start preparing for the next election cycle. Right? Yet, this is someone that the APC campaign successfully tagged a terrorist and attached his movement to Igbo movement or to the IPOB movement. Right?
IPOB.
I'm applauding them one for doing that. And also just really reiterating the fact that Nigerians are really stupid. Because for you people
Yeah,
to
we
even
are.
believe that, yes, it shows that one, you don't know your history, you don't know anything, and two, you can't think for yourselves. So it's like, even this thing they talk about the obedience movements on Twitter. Oh, they curse everybody, they harass everybody. Were you guys on Twitter in 2015?
It was a
like,
bloodbath.
like, why are we acting like as if this is the first time that we're seeing something of this nature, especially for like in online enthusiasm and followership, around the election cycle? It happens. The problem that right now with the APC guys is that they don't have the monopoly over these things. And that's what happened in 2015. The APC gang kind of like politically they had that authority on Twitter to speak on stuff, to direct people towards a candidate and stuff like that. Because 2015, Nigerian Twitter was pro Buhari, was anti
Yeah.
Jonathan, 100%. Like not
Very
hundred
pro
percent, but
Buhari.
very, very, very pro Buhari. Like it was a cool thing to do then, just as it became
Yeah.
the cool thing to do for Peter Obi. So how were they able to attach this into maybe to a tribal thing and just start recklessly calling him an IPOB movement or something like that? You know, this is after elections. You have your candidate won the elections, right? At least that's what they said, and he's currently the president. Why are you still focused on this man?
You know
Someone
why?
who has never come out to say, Peter Obi has never come out to say anything about protest. This man has just been all over the country, contributing money here and there, just doing his stuff and trying to build alliance,
I know
ahead
the
of
answer.
2027. Okay.
I know the answer. And the
Which is,
answer is Peter Obi is still a legitimate threat. They
yes,
cannot
to
pin
them.
anything to him. So they
Nothing.
pin the only thing they can pin to him is that Igbophobia thing. Oh, the rise
Thank
of
you.
Igbos not to take over the country.
Yeah,
And it works
yeah.
during the state election in Lagos here. That's why
100%. It
someone
works
was
now.
able to win.
100%.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Peter Obi still going around the country is giving them headache for 2027. They're still 3 years away. Instead of them focusing on governance, they're focusing on the next election. And that is why they keep hammering on, oh, he's IPOB, he's this, in Americano and everything. Because you know that is what can trigger people. At least if you trigger the North, you trigger the Southwest and say, we're not voting for him. So
It's
it's,
just
it's,
fear
This is
that,
what,
mongering.
it's fear mongering.
bro, just look at what's an assistant, a personal assistant to the president or whatever it is, went on Twitter to say about another, about a political,
It's not even
a,
coordinated. That's my
Like,
problem. If something like that comes out and you see it's coordinated from all the press secretaries or like all the media teams. So there are three people, right, that are
mhm,
sort of like in charge of media coming out
yeah,
from Aso Rock, right? There's Ortega, right? There's
yeah,
Bayo Onanuga, and there's Ajuri,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not even coordinated amongst three of them.
Bro, these are people that
It's almost
one
like
person will
this guy
announce.
had a It's almost like this guy had a conversation with Tinubu and said, you know what, let me put out this hit piece. And then the president is like, yeah, yeah, put it out. You're my guy. Put it out. Do you understand? And this one just puts it out because if you if something is a threat and you're putting it out as an official threat, then it comes from every one of your team members. I believe they have their weekly sit downs where they plan what is yes now. If
They
they're
have
not
a
going to do daily,
FAC meeting. They
they
have
might
weekly
not do
meetings.
no, not they might not do daily stand up, but they will have their weekly sit downs and say, okay, what is going out to the press? What are we addressing? What are we putting out? Etc. etc. Right? I believe. Do I want to think that they had a conversation and they said, oh yeah, I'll put this out on my Twitter account. Is this coming out officially or is this coming from bio? Like, what is going on?
You know why this question is like this? Do you know why this question exists? Because
Why?
the number one citizen in your country doesn't regularly come out in front of the press and the media to answer questions. If this was like the White House or like UK, where every week or every month you come out in front of the press and they ask you questions, they'll obviously ask Tinubu this. Was this co-signed by you? But because Babali gives speeches whenever it's a public holiday, has he done any media interview since he became president? No. This is a period in Nigeria that is the most crucial in our history. Inflation is at its highest since 1996, and it's just we don't see the president, we don't hear from him. We only hear from his attack dogs. So that's why this question will
I,
always be like
I believe
this.
I believe this is all like sanctioned, like supported by the presidency. Because if I'm a president and one of my personal assistants comes on social media and say this kind of thing, and it's not driven by me or my team or something like that, I'm going to sack that person, or at least put out a counter statement to say no, this is not from me. Like that was just ridiculous anyway. But it is what it is. It's Nigeria. Nothing shocks us anymore. We're used to ridiculousness, so it's okay.
I think that's the thing. I think we're just we're like tone
That's
deaf to a
Yeah.
lot of things now.
so a lot of things. Yeah, because
We're
come on,
numb
man.
And guess
rather
what,
not
guys? And
responding.
guess what? And guess what, guys? What Bayo is putting out is working. Do not believe a second that he's just yarning this and people are disgusted. It is working. It is
Although
working on the grassroots
I'm just
level.
happy that yeah, I'm just happy that at least, and that's why they hate this so-called obedient movement, right? Because like 5 years ago they would do this and everybody would kind of like yeah accept it or play along with it, but now you come up and they just cook you. If you look at that tweet,
No, they'll
they
cook you.
just they
They will
cooked him
cook
bad.
you.
So it
They
shows
see
that
through the
you're
BS.
just wasting
They're
your time.
very vocal about it. 2027
Exactly.
is going to be interesting if
It's
Peter
going to
Obi
be very
runs again.
interesting. Yeah, let's see.
Bro,
Let's see.
that is going to be the clash of the titans because that is going to be
Yeah.
serious.
But we also know that the incumbents will use any by any means
2027 is
necessary
going to be
Bro,
my
to stay in
favorite
power.
Nigerian election.
bro, he has the instruments of the states now. Before, he won without instruments of state. Now, You can call anybody to him. What the fuck is going on? And you must answer. So that one is
Damn.
a movie. Everybody just carry your popcorn and watch how it's going to play out.
Anyways, speaking about incompetent people and just incompetence generally, the Minister of Information earlier, we're talking about the United Arab Emirates visa scandal, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So the Minister of Information released a statement revealing that the UAE has finally agreed to lift the visa ban for Nigeria. Right. Prior to this time, there was a visa ban for Nigeria, so Nigerians couldn't
Go to
travel,
the
couldn't receive a visa to go to the UAE, except I think on some different circumstances, etc. But like regular Nigerians, you couldn't do that, right? The minister, while in his statements and while revealing that the ban had been lifted for Nigerians, the minister also directed Nigerians to a website where they can now apply for the visa. The
yeah.
website has some conditions, right, including a non-refundable application fee of 640,000 naira.
Really?
It has now been confirmed that that website is not an official website from the UAE, as the UAE came out and put out a press statement denying that they have any association with the website. They have now asked the minister, Nigerians have now asked the minister to do what? To come out and clarify the information. Our beloved minister has not done so. Further investigation has revealed
Our beloved
that
what?
the website,
You and who love
uh,
him?
is our minister now. You come
There
on,
is no beloved.
you know. Now, further
Beheaded.
investigation has revealed that what the website the minister shared in his statement is run by someone in Canada who works for a Spanish IT company. Why then did the federal minister share this website in a statement? The long and short of this story, if una dey hear, make I yarn as e be. Dem talk say we no fit go Dubai again. Dem come talk say Dubai now said or UAE now say fit dey come Dubai o. Federal government now say okay, hold on with that information. Let us tell our people. Do you understand?
We communicate it in the best way they can
Yes,
understand.
that they
Yes. Now we know
understand.
them.
We know,
Don't worry.
uh
Yeah.
you know, they now quickly chook, you know, one gateway. And it's you tech people, Steve. Is you because behind that thing is one tech boy that
Is
put
a
that gate.
PS.
Obviously
That
now.
pay
We
that
go
put that
preach to
gateway
the
there.
guys.
Yes.
Go preach to
To
the good
collect
minister
money.
now.
Because
Shout
specific
to all the software engineers. I went to a developer conference yesterday and I enjoyed it.
because it's somebody that put that gateway there and wants to now be charging Nigerians for access to getting a
Six
visa in
hundred and
Dubai.
forty thousand
Do
there.
you, bro, it's not even the money, it's the principle. What
Yeah.
is wrong with you as a country? How can you now charge people? Basically, you are now saying that before you even have access to before you have access to the UAE,
Yeah.
you will pay, you will roger or something.
Yes.
This is the equivalent of those people that stand at the bridge
Yes.
This
in
official
Lagos and
checkpoint. It's
collect
official
money
checkpoint. This official digital
It's the
checkpoint.
equivalent of the people who stand at IOM, medical centers and visa centers in Lagos, trying to let you know that like, they can
They
help you do it, take money,
hustle you out.
hustle you.
Yeah.
That's it, the same thing.
what the hell
And
is
shout,
going on?
and shout out to David Mudein because when everybody was having doubt, he went to work and came out and said, this website, I tracked it and this is what happened. And it's impressive work. And that's how the conversation now really expanded into the cable now, going to do an official story to call the UAE to contact them to say, is it your website? Is this website associated with you? And they said no. And they now confirmed it. It's been more than 4 days. The minister has not come out to clarify anything. The Ministry of Information has not even
The
said
minister
anything at
doesn't
all.
work for you. The minister
Do
doesn't
you
work for
guys
you.
understand this?
Please, can I say something?
Please.
When David put out the whole thing on his Twitter page, he's the
Yes.
one that found out that usually the UAE websites have the URL
Thank
extension,
you.
right? The
Yes.
domain extension is gov.ae. You notice this one
Yes.
was just .ae. Then he did
That's
his
AE,
own
no gov.
investigation
Yes.
and did the revelation on Twitter. The cable
Yeah.
now went and did, you know,
A further
for
investigation.
investigation,
Yes.
reached out to the
To the
officials at
UAE
UAE
officials.
and
Yes.
published that exclusive, right? The thing went
Yes.
viral. Do you know
Yes.
what they did to the cable website? Some people, they sent a
Oh,
Eh.
DDoS attack to
oh
the
yes, that's what they
website.
do. That's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic response
So that
You know,
people won't
for
be able
those
to
who
read the
don't know what
stories.
a DDoS attack is when they send an insane amount of traffic to your website.
to crash it.
Your website cannot now and to crash
Handle
it,
the bandwidth cannot handle.
or
Yes. Yeah.
yes, so they either crash the website, or
It just
other
slows down.
visitors who are
Like
trying to
yeah,
visit,
they can't
it's so
access it.
slow they can't
Yeah.
access it. So they sent a DDoS attack to the cable website so people can't read the article. Bro, we're dealing with who are the people we're dealing with?
Yeah.
Osage,
We don't even
you know
know
the
who we're
scary thing.
dealing with yet. Oh.
Osage, you know the scary thing.
Yeah.
8 million people voted for this government. People that we see every day, we shake hands with, we talk to, voted,
No,
support.
I have friends. I have
Mhm.
friends who are now regretting it and saying, you know what, Sags, you were actually right, though.
Oh,
We're in
really?
the end time now.
Oh, for really? We're in the end game now.
I'm on the website now. Obtain your domain verification number. It doesn't.
it
You don't understand. It
doesn't
doesn't
even make
have
sense.
anything from the UAE here on these
Yeah.
websites.
You ain't
Do
going
you
to wonder
understand
what
what I
thing
mean?
happen.
It doesn't have anything from the UAE here, man. And the guy's still in office,
Yeah, it's still
right?
in office. No
He's still not
explanation, nothing. We don't
he's still
deserve.
not
We don't
taking
deserve
off the
it.
press release from his Instagram page, from the
No,
Twitter page.
it's still there. It's still there.
His statement is
Proudly.
still there with
Proudly.
an illegal website. Wait, let me even click start DVN
Or on,
application.
on authorized websites.
Wait, hold
And
on. They're not going to take down this thing, no.
nobody you want go
They're not
UAE.
going to take down this thing, no. Oh, by the way, in the application information, the things you need to provide a valid document verification number (DVN) from this website, which is where you have to pay the money to get the DVN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Proof of bank accounts, 6 months bank statement with minimum balance of $10,000. What thing are they go do for that Dubai self? I want to know if you're not going to do business.
Kanye has a famous song. Poop-a-doo, poop.
You
Yeah,
poop.
don't do that.
Scoop.
Don't do that.
No, no,
Round trip,
it's Kanye's
round.
record now. You don't know that Kanye song?
All right, I know it.
I
Like
even afford. I'm starting to say now.
round trip flight
Moving on.
tickets, proof of hotel booking confirmed and paid. Once your preferred UAE travel agent has confirmed your appointment with your local UAE visa center, the visa fee must be paid by credit card at the UAE visa center in Nigeria residing, blah, 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 blah. All right, let me click on next step. Then you put in all your details, then you make the payments. So, guys, this website is still up. So, all that noise that happened, right? All the
Yeah,
revelation that happened, the cable exclusive story, nothing has led to anything. The website is still up. This guy told me,
bro.
say, you know what? Complain, don't complain. If you want to go to Dubai, you must pay this money.
They are not answerable to us. I don't know why people are surprised. They're not. Is it you that employed them? It's not you now.
This is this is crazy. And nobody's going
Then
to do anything. We're just going to all chill like this.
no, they said people are coming out to protest in August. So you guys get your canisters ready on your.
August when?
I don't know because I'm not sure about that, the details of that protest at all.
Okay, so I can just go to Asaban, just stay. Let me spend time with my parents as they're protesting.
Talking about
Uh,
complaining and complaining. Your African billionaire has been in the media
I don't pity anybody.
for
Osagi, you already said it now. This is a fight that you watch from afar. you know, this is, my hand the
When
air. I know the. I beg. I don't,
when two elephants are fighting, a chicken should
ah,
not cross the road. Just be
thank
and day.
you.
It no concern
Just
me because when sensible politicians came out, or at least a sensible politician came out to run for the 2023 election, you could have pitched your tent to him, JJ, and your life would have been easier. But no, you went for
so many
incompetency, and the guy even lost again. Your guy even lost. So now, dance to the music that you ordered, please. Don't come and disturb me. I beg.
everybody dance to my
No,
song.
uh-huh. As
Peter
long
Peter
as
Obi can never
Dangote
be
the hustle,
Peter Obi can never be president of this country, sha.
he
And
can't.
I'm expressing it because of the way the country is set up, right? They can't
There are too
allow
many
someone
stumbling
like
blocks.
Yeah, they can't
Too
allow they
many.
can't allow someone like him to come because when he come and he know if he do something, he go begin talk. Say this is why I can't do it and this is why I can't do it and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's and he won't be able to do anything because the problem with Nigeria is that there's a lot of we don't have enough personnel to fight the system.
yeah.
The
They're not
system
good
because the
people
system has
enough
recruited
to
everybody.
rise
The
up.
system has recruited everybody. The system has recruited everybody. Everybody is in the system. So for you to come and fight it, we don't have enough people that are willing to come and do it. You
Yeah.
know,
Steve, think about
it's
the
hard.
power blocks. Even think about the power blocks, right?
Okay, do you
An Igbo
understand?
man,
This man
an
cannot
Igbo
get.
man.
So listen, see, let me explain something. Nigeria, we had a problem in the last since independence. We have crude oil, right? We try setting up refineries to refine this crude oil and sell within ourselves, right? So that we use fuel, kerosene, diesel and stuff like that. We couldn't. We couldn't operate our refineries efficiently. So we said, okay, you know what? We started exporting our crude oil, right? At say 10 naira, right? Then we started buying fuel back at 15 naira. We bought diesel back at 20 naira. We bought diesel, we're buying kerosene back at so price, right? So Dangote said, okay, you know what? Let me set up a refinery so that at least it will lessen the burden on this importation of refined petroleum products, right? Now, time to set up. Dangote now discovers that he can't get crude oil from Nigeria. So he's about to import crude. Do you understand what's happening? He
Hmm.
can't get crude from Nigeria. Nigeria is exporting crude to other countries.
Nigeria is just built on incompetency on all
See,
levels.
if you under and who the person who tweeted that, you are a legend. And I hope God rewards you for this tweet. If you
Amen.
explain Nigeria
Amen.
to you and you understand it, they've not
Okay,
explained it
that
to
means
you.
they're not explaining well to you.
I say there's something wrong with that explanation. For you, if you understand Nigeria, they've not explained Nigeria well to you.
But
All of a
The
sudden now,
irony
the
is
crude oil that we're
like,
exporting abroad to import the refined petroleum products, we can't give it to Dangote locally. So it's Dangote now wants to go and import crude. The man is just complaining. He's tired.
Steve,
Okay.
anyways,
to be
anybody
fair,
listening from
sorry.
Dangote's crew, I just want to say we at Global Village can set up a podcast. We are very
Yeah.
efficient, whether you want to run it virtually or in person. Because I feel like
Oh,
at this
okay.
rate, they're going to launch a podcast.
Oh, yeah, because he's complaining every 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
I
I
know he's looking
tweeted it.
sad. He looks
Yeah,
sad every time I see him, like poor guy.
Yeah, yeah,
I
You
yeah.
tweeted
know.
it.
And
I said,
he
if
came try to
Alaji
clarify
needs
some.
a podcast, we at Global Village can set it up.
Yeah.
The thing about
Does,
this issue with
does
Dangote
Global
is that
Village ads run on this podcast?
No, they don't.
Why?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
oh,
We're
you
not
want to
running
give it to
any campaign
Dangote.
now. Yes.
Yet.
We're not running any campaign as of now.
Why?
Um, we have a client base that we're working with now, and we are not at capacity, but with some of the work we're going to do in the future, we'll soon be at capacity. So, but if
Okay, so
people,
there's no need
you know,
to.
for people listening, let me plug this in. If you want to create a podcast, you don't know where to start from and anything, Global Village,
So
we
you're not
can run it.
almost at capacity anymore.
Yes, we can run it for you from end to end. Everything from conceptualization to your production to studio engineering, your audio engineering to recording. If you want to record anybody any part of the world, as long as they have internet connection, we can sort it out for you. Audio and visual.
Out of to
We can
source
also
guest.
help
Can you help me
um,
source guest?
sourcing of guests. No, we don't do that,
Ah,
but we handle scheduling.
you have to include this in your product and send me send me your deck. Let's
We
talk.
don't offer it as a service. It's not
Include
one
it
of
and
our
talk to
service
me.
offerings.
I'll
No,
pay you.
we don't want to include it. We don't want your money.
Nice one. It's only
No
Dangote
wahala.
the one we are looking for here.
That's
It's
that's
only
what.
Dangote's money. But I bet you will schedule guests for Dangote if he comes for the
Yes.
podcast.
Schedule guests. We schedule
You
guests.
Osagi Yalonge, Global Village will schedule guests for Dangote.
No, you
I
source
said we
for guest self.
schedule guests.
No, but you source guests for him.
Oh, for
Osagi,
Dangote.
yes,
For Dangote. Me
yes,
where I
just
write you
admit.
email say Dangote won't interview you. You don't go respond to me.
Sharp, sharp. Are you mad? Richest man in Africa. Are you crazy?
You me where I be where I write you email say Dangote won't follow you talk for podcast. You no go respond.
Mm. Sharp with alacrity.
Do you mean now?
And I'm
Okay, let me just set up my computer. Do you mean now? Let me just set up my I mean, I'm in a meeting, and but I can just we can do it now, now, now,
I
now.
Can
can,
cancel the meeting.
you hear the person, I can join by phone.
Mm-hmm. This
Uh-uh.
ain't a beans.
Oh my god.
Okay, say Nigeria the stress baba. Oh.
You know, my advice to Dangote is that just cultivate like good leaders who want to help this nation and
No,
bankroll
no,
them.
no.
That's the simple thing.
I,
That's what when you are talking about the story. We are not
you've not
concerned.
given him the Nigerian advice. I'm not sure
What's
you're
the Nigerian
Nigerian.
advice?
I doubt. you have to show me your passport soon, or are you?
At this
My
point,
advice to
I don't think
Dangote now
I'm
is at
proud to
this
come
point
out
in his
as a
life, I
Nigerian.
think the enemies are working. You should be very
Mm,
prayerful. Like you should be very, you should be very prayerful this period, because I think
mm,
attacks are coming from all angles. So he should be very careful and just
yes,
pray. You know, he has to pray. I think that's
mm,
the solution. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
yeah.
Okay. From one Nigeria who, so I say from one Nigeria, for one person who Nigeria is confusing to another person who is hell bent on confusing Nigerians. Pastor Paul Adevarasin recently tweeted, and the following the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, or how they say President Donald Trump. Pastor Paul tweeted, "We condemn political violence in the leading democracy of the free world. We are thankful to God for the survival
No,
of
don't do
former
that thick voice. Don't do it.
Trump
Pause. No
without
diddy.
fatal injury. We extend our condolences to the family of the deceased spectator and offer our prayers for the injured. Our prayers remain for a speedy and total recovery of former President Trump. We applaud the rapid response of the Secret Service and are grateful that the assassination attempt failed. This allows Donald Trump to continue in the democratic process. We salute President Biden for condemning the assassination attempt and for his conversation with Donald Trump. Our prayers are with both candidates and the democratic process in America. As Africans, we draw inspiration from the American democratic process. Long live American democracy, and may God bless America. I
I have a
like the
question,
community
Osage.
notes. Before you go ahead,
Okay.
I love the community because this tweet got community noted
Oh,
immediately.
for
Sharp, sharp.
real? Immediately.
Shout out Elon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and the community notes is very simple. Just two sentences, one short paragraph. It reads, "This man is a hypocrite. He has never condemned electoral violence in his home country, where it is more rampant." That is all.
I have a question though. I have a question.
Yes,
What
yes.
and does he also condemn road rage violence? I'm just cause I'm concerned.
So I heard. So I heard. So it is
Mhm.
rumored that
Mm.
he got out of his car one day and beat the shit off.
Global
Oh my
Village.
god.
Oh,
Yes.
Global Village. How much do you pay the lawyer that you have on retainer?
that question I
Hello.
ask.
I said it was alleged. No be me. I
Alleged
not be
now.
me
Alleged.
talk anything.
Go
I
NJ now.
said
Just no NIJ. It's alleged.
Okay, okay, okay.
you go NIJ now. Now you go NIJ
Yeah.
now.
Come on.
I said they say it was
Uh,
alleged, and it was community
so
noted. I'm just reading what
I
public space.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
so Adefarasi
You know,
didn't say
it's
anything about the election violence of 2023 where people were being
nothing,
slapped. A woman lost.
nothing.
The woman was stabbed in her eye because she wanted to vote for Peter Obi. He didn't say anything then. Wow. The
They
silence of the
stabbed
men
that.
of God. Yes, so
Just
because she
go
wanted to
to
vote
the stab.
for. Shout out to Pastor Paul. Experience is happening this year again live, TBS. Go there and receive the word. Thank you very much. I don't advertise. I don't advertise. I shut down.
When it comes to when it
Have you,
comes to religion,
have you guys ever have you guys ever attended the experience?
What's I defined?
once now, 20 when you guys after you guys left me now, I started this gospel music coverage renaissance in the media. When I started covering, like we started, I pressed Motalani, we started covering, and I think we
Snatch them.
helped.
Paid to
I think we
cover.
helped
Say
Sinach Waymaker.
you were paid. I was the one that brought that deal in before I left that company. You were paid to cover those things. You
You
say
see
I
the
was
talk. You
I
talk
Shall
too
was
I let the
much.
narrative? Shall I let the
Just talk.
narrative just go?
Just talk
Have
too
I
a-
was
much.
I got
That's your
inspired to
problem.
cover. No, You
I
were
beg, go and
paid.
sleep, guy. Go
It's
and sleep.
inspired.
You were paid.
Man is inspiring now. He was
Stop.
inspired.
Leave him. He's a hater,
He was
actually.
inspired. He was
It
inspired
was
to
just
receive the
the
money.
story done the sweet. He just look and say, make I just spoil this boy
But
parade.
no
Move
lie, no
on.
lie.
Let's move.
Pause. Now pause blows in nature. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't go lie you. I don't go lie
Now
you.
pause blows in nature.
I
Really.
don't go lie you.
Because the way they carried
Anyways,
her that year, more. Hey,
20
it was personal.
suspects.
it was not personal.
Well,
It was business.
this was
Okay,
business.
nah. It was economical.
This was
It was business.
economical.
It was financial.
Yeah, it was
Anyways,
financial.
talking about music, Ayo
That's how
released
that's
his
how
Rema
Asagi
review.
destroyed just destroyed, dismantled the great story. You pay me, Sha, but let's go on.
It's
Let's
always
go
good
on.
to tell the truth. Just tell the truth.
I was like, you know where you go, that glory. Say, lie. It ain't yours,
Waiting.
nigga.
All right, we're talking about music now. Ayo, your Rema review.
Did you read it first of all, please? Please.
Yes, now I
Yes, I
read
did.
now.
Okay, thank you
Yes, I
very
did.
much.
I read
Thank you
it.
very
And
much.
I'm like, what were we arguing about before, sir?
When you did not allow me to talk, that's what everything I said in that review is what I wanted to say. When you didn't allow me
No,
to
no, no.
talk.
I
So,
No,
think one. Please, just please first give us the concept or the summary of your review for us of
so
Rema's
my
album.
review So my review takes everything in totality, like where it's coming from, why is he doing this kind of music, the type of music it is. I break down the production, his lyrical take or lyrical assessment was also considered, the end result of it, basically. Yeah, and I just talked about the flaws on the album. Well, I said that, for this album, his fans will like go crazy over that shit, and the critics will be like, at the end of the day. And then
Yeah.
I gave the which I haven't done in a while. I gave the album a 3.5 over 5. I don't normally do ratings anymore, but I had to give down because it's something that people demanded and people wanted. But I think I gave a robust 360. It wasn't bashing. It wasn't also like dick riding. It was like straight up, middle objective, or at least objective to my own opinion of Rema's album. And people that don't understand why he did that album can read my review and be like, okay, we see where he's going with this. We understand why he has to do this for himself in his career. So yeah,
absolutely. I 100% agree with. Like, I agree with your review. I think what I did last week was just like double downing on people who came on social media, and when people really push hard, I like to push back hard.
yeah,
Because you
because
push
a lot of
music.
people don't have a reason why they don't like this album. They just say they don't like it, which is not enough
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And I know is the millennials who are getting old.
That's why
It's
they
the
37
millennials.
years to be doing
But
Zagba in the club.
I just believe that I think you gave the album a little more time, and also maybe I and Osage's opinion also kind of like put things into
Yeah,
perspective for you because sometimes it's important to get some perspective.
To be honest, Steve,
Yeah.
I made Ayo just look like a villain.
Okay.
Like what Ayo wrote and where he was before he even wrote it, days before he wrote it, it's still this. It was the same position. He understands what he's saying, which is,
Okay.
oh, it's a great album, but like there's room for improvement. For me, like the
Yeah.
album, give it a 3.5 over 5. I'm okay with that score as well.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's good. Yeah.
That was
That's
my
good.
original point. Music, like, why are people expecting Rema to make like a 5 over 5 album all of a sudden, and
Yep.
then they're showing utter disappointment because he didn't make a 5 over 5 album. Like a
Yeah.
three over
So
five, 3.5 over 5 album is also good.
it's
The
Yes.
good and
blueprint
it's
is
impactful. It will be
yeah, it's
impactful.
still yeah. It doesn't need to be a 5 over 5. See, permit me if I'm wrong, but in retrospect now, people are calling Superstar a classic. But when he dropped back then, Superstar 2 was like a
Bro,
4 over 5 or a three
bro,
point
we're
five over
bashing
five.
it. We're bashing it.
Yeah,
I remember clearly. Clearly.
do you
I
understand?
can't I
But
can't
when
you
am
guys
I
keep
dropped?
the time you guys mentioned this thing, I'm always surprised because maybe I didn't follow the media reaction to the album. So I'm always surprised anytime when you guys mention it. Are you guys definitely sure, certain that the reaction was not good when Superstar dropped?
Bro,
Because the only one
Because
I can
some people
remember was
did.
Everybody Loves Ice Prince. That one, I remember that one. The Superstar.
Funny enough, they didn't even bash everybody loves ice creams. People liked the album. What they bashed was his
He
bars.
didn't.
Then
He was singing. Yeah, it wasn't a rap album. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all of that. So same thing with Superstar. Nobody out from the jump said it was a classic.
For real?
Yeah, it
I remember one
wasn't a
person
classic.
writing
Yeah,
a review and juxtaposing the album with Bezzy's album, which was Super Son, and they came
Yeah,
out
yeah,
around. I
yeah.
think they came out that same weekend or that same week or something.
Yeah.
And that Super Son is a classic. You
Ah,
know,
it is.
dope
Super
album.
Son is
Then so from
Super
that
Son is one of
2011 album, which one was the
yeah,
best? Like in terms of for that time, not like how time has gone in terms of being classic. P Square released an
like
album that year.
yeah.
Which one was
The
well
P Square
received? Which,
album, the P Square album, to be very honest, beyond the singles that came from the album, it didn't do what a regular P Square album does. It
okay.
didn't do it. It didn't do it. In
Which
fact,
album
some
was
of the
that?
songs, Invasion, some of the
Invasion.
songs
Okay,
did,
okay,
did
yeah, yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So apart from the record with Mehdi, the one with Tiwa, it tried to work, but it didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah.
You understand? It's the record with Mehdi, which is Chop My Money. Chop My Money
Chop
had the
on
remix
money.
with it
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and T.I. also. No, a few of the sorry, not the one with T.I., but like the Chop My Money, a few,
And I
but it
think
didn't take
he
with
also
the
showed
regular P-Square album.
the passing of the torch in terms of
Oh
pop
yes, at that
Exactly,
culture.
point,
Yeah.
yeah,
At that
it was
point, yeah.
definitely.
Because
exactly.
these two albums are significant to me because that's how album launch started for me in terms of a cool hotel.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was
Album launch
yeah,
concerts.
it was Wiz. It
It
was
was
Wiz
P
that
Square
did the
and
first
Wiz. No, it
echo.
was P Square first before Wiz. Which album came out first?
I think it was Wiz.
Ah, let's confirm this.
the first to
Yeah.
perform in a hotel were P Square, but I don't think they're launching an album. I think they're just doing a concert.
No, they
No,
launched
guys,
Invasion concert. They
Invasion
launched an
concert
album.
came after.
Oh,
I remember I
oh,
went to
okay.
all those concerts. I was blogging it live now. Invasion came after Super Wizkid's own was see how it went. The first time they used the Cool Hotel for like people have been using stuff, right? But the first
Yeah,
time they
stuff
used
like
the
that.
stuff with video music event was Sound City Music Video Award 2010. That was
Okay.
the first time, right, that Asha
Okay.
performed. Then it was Wizkid's. Wizkid dropped when the Superstar dropped. Superstar dropped.
Let me confirm it.
Wizkid's Superstar dropped June.
Invasion concert was July 2011.
Wizkid's one dropped
Okay,
June
okay, okay,
12th.
okay.
That's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Wizkid's album dropped on June 12th, 2011. I don't know what exact. Let me see what date June 12th, because I know June 12th. It was a
Oh
weekday
yeah,
that stuff
Friday. It was a
happened.
weekday. Maybe Wednesday
Uh-huh.
or Thursday.
June 12th came out on Sunday. Maybe it was this.
Okay,
I
okay.
can't remember what day it was. I don't know if it was a weekday. I can't remember, right? But it dropped, and then Invasion. In fact, Invasion dropped after a quote Whiskey Zone, because of course if Whiskey had done it there, they also wanted to do it there. And then they had their whole big ass concert where the power went off for a minute and then the power came
Hmm.
back. You guys remember? I think they even had
Yeah.
a foreigner come and perform at the concerts. I must have written a review of that thing. Hold on. P Square Eco Hotel concerts.
So the invasion was released on June 29, July 29, 2011.
July 29. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and they did their concert on the 31st or
or
the
Yeah.
30th. I
30th.
can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's 30th. On 30th.
On the 30th, yeah. I'm reading yeah. Yeah. So
Then Superstar was
that's
when the Superstar concert was when.
2012.
No, no, it can't be 2012. No, 2012. No.
No, Superstar can be 2012 now.
Oh, Superstar was 2011.
Yeah, 1 month in 2011. The concert, the album launch
That one,
concert.
that one I attended that one. I'm coming. Let me pull it up.
I was trying to remember who was the
17th
first
June,
among them.
17th of June 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be 16th. Yeah.
Wait, I'm pulling up an article that says that Two Face performed at Echo Hotel 2010.
Hmm.
Yes, there was the
Yes,
2010 concert.
That's the
Yes.
2010
yeah.
concert that everybody attended now,
So
right? When we,
Lolade
yeah,
Sanwo-Olu wrote that one,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was in
yeah, yeah.
October
Two Face did nothing.
That's the popular clip of the Prince, Ice Prince, Whiskey vibing to a Two Face song where Two Face was performing. Have you seen that video?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, Two
This
Face was
is
on
one
stage.
that
Yeah,
this is the video that
that the
Annie was
Prince
on
said
stage with him, and they're doing some grinding together.
no.
Yeah.
That was the one Osagi went to. That's the one Osagi and did. It was
it
a
wasn't
stage.
actually, and it was Dancia.
It was
Oh, sorry,
Dancia.
Vince. Yeah, yeah.
Osagi
Okay.
was in that event. Osagi did a stage something something now with AY, right?
Oh,
I can't remember.
that's later on. That's the one I
That's
got
later
on
on.
stage. I did
That was
some
later
acting with
now.
AY and Umar Goli. That was later
Yeah,
on.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, 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 okay,
So
okay.
I don't try. Me say I don't climb stage now. What did they do now? No, don't
Hey,
climb a
Don't try, don't try, don't try.
I don't climb a hotel stage.
No, no,
No, I
no.
never
Never
climb
climb.
now. Me, I don't climb.
You try,
Me, I
you
don't
try, you
present
try.
headies now. I don't present headies now for stage now.
no, no vex,
You
no
don't presented
vex.
this too.
I
I
don't
don't
present
present
this
headies.
now.
I be
You
senior
try,
man. No, I wanna give me
you try,
respect
you
too.
try, you try, you try, you try, you try,
Uh,
you try.
no one can pay money for global village. They say make I go source for
As I
something.
go pay money, but you go source guest. Now just I will just what I want to do an interview.
If you Dangote,
No wala.
if you Dangote, let's say from
No
Steve David,
wala.
the email. My whole timeline, I'm just seeing Dangote in front of microphone. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Oh.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. I saw a tweet that CME put out um a while back in March, right? She said, I dislike pets and animals bearing human names. What is this new trend? I don't want to see Oyindamola as a dog. Someone was calling Oyindamola and I thought it was a toddler just to see a dog.
Oh,
I
that's
want
weird, man.
That's weird though.
no, not weird because she says I dislike pets and animal bearing human names. When you hear Jack, what do you think?
Okay,
What
I
do you
think maybe she
She should have
mistreated
said
it.
native names.
Hey, should have said native names definitely.
Do you understand? Dogs bear all kind of names.
You can't name a dog
Peter.
Babatunde now.
Why not?
How you can make dog Babatunde? Which Baba came back again?
Because the previous dog died and the new dog they now
No,
said
no,
Babatunde.
no, no. See, for naming of pets, let's stick to colonialism. Give them English names.
Yes, let's
Thank
take
you.
secularism.
Yes.
No, please. You stick to colonialism. You Steve. Now your name,
I
your name
I
is right
like
up there.
the way I like because I grew up like we grew up like training dogs a lot at home. So the way I like naming dogs, I just name them with a word, not necessarily a name. Like for example, I had a dog name. The name was Nest. Then I had
Mm-hmm.
one Speed. Do you get like I just
Mm.
like
That one's
using
even
words
better.
like
I like that
yeah,
one.
I don't
But
like using name. I've never liked the name concept.
this
Is that?
thing where you talk now, still people name.
I
Speed
know,
where you
but it's not. It's a word. It's not a name. Like it's a
it's a
word.
name. It's a name. Stop it. Every word is a
Osage.
name. The speed where you call
Osage.
now, there's a footballer Gary Speed.
Yeah.
Rest
All
in
right.
Not
peace.
say Osage. Won't you feel funny if somebody calls his dog and they say, "Oh, Osage, come here, Osage, come here." It's very
I'm
somehow
not.
now.
The problem is that you people think you own this earth that you came.
Eh, but
You have too much of a grip on it. You don't. In the
we say
grand
we
scheme
don't
of
want name. We don't want give dog native name. That's what we. May leave her like that.
Understand.
We don't give her
oh,
native name.
no, you can name your
Give
dog
your
anything,
you give
please.
your the name that your ancestor was bearing. You now gave it to Bingo.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Okay. Oyindamola.
Anyways, let's go into fan mail. This is from Dume B. Says, "What's up, Giants? Complex recently released a hip hop media power ranking list. I'm curious to know your current Afrobeat media power ranking. This list will include podcasters, streamers, aggregators, writers, radio personalities, and maybe some trolls. Where do you guys think? Where do you guys rank a producer like Dark Child? Okay, this is another question. Where do you guys rank producer like Dark Child in the greatest producers of all time? I have him as my number one, and would like to know where he's on you guys' list. Stay jiggy as usual, maybe. All right, let's quickly clear out the Dark Child. I think Dark Child, in terms of like producers of like all music, definitely my top 20. He
Top
produced
20
Michael
for me.
Jackson,
Yeah. Top 20. Yeah.
Top
uh,
That
20 is
Michael
good now.
Jackson to me, that Michael Jackson's album is sealed his legacy.
Even-
That you could
Yeah, yeah,
produce
yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
MJ.
yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
that album was mad. He produced that record. He produced for, of course, he produced Brandy. You
Of
know,
course.
um,
Then the
so many
2000s, he owned the 2000s like mad. If you didn't hear Dark Child on the production,
Jennifer
complete. Oh.
Lopez. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people. Shout out to Dark Child. Definitely up there for me. Top 20 for me. Definitely. All right, let's go into this power list, power
Mm,
ranking list. But it has to be Afrobeats, and I'm also surprised
Hmm.
that people haven't
Let's
like
do it,
nobody has done the list. Nobody has put
bro.
out
So,
the Afrobeats
eh,
power ranking
the-
list. I'm
shout out to
surprised.
pause. Shout out to pause, Sha. But the
Yes,
Steve,
listicles are dead in Nigeria. Like we don't
because
yeah.
nobody
we
wants to do it, fam.
do OAP.
And
We did
why,
OAP
why do
one
you
time.
think?
Ah man, we did.
Why do you think nobody wants to do it, Ayo?
They don't know the culture.
Well, they
They're
don't
not
know the culture.
culture, bro. They're not culture.
Not
It's
culture, then they
simple.
don't want the
There's no
smoke.
passion
They
for
don't
the
want the
culture.
smoke
They
too.
don't. Yeah.
They don't know the culture. I disagree because they can always reach out to people who know the culture. Give you an example. Someone is putting down the list very soon and they reached out to me, right? And I then help them like reshape how to think about the list and who to
Yeah.
include. So boom, the list is done and they're going to put it out very soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't, in terms of like you not knowing the culture, I don't think it's an excuse. If you're not, like, all of us here, right? For things that we don't know. Ayo comes at times and puts a list in the group and says, guys, what do you think? Just to
Yeah,
sample opinion.
let me trash.
Or
Yeah, let me look at it.
most times, like
But that
to
lad, the
see
way
what
you guys, the way Wasagi use agenda to take over that list is something I'll still come and talk about later. But let's move on.
But that's a list. List is also agenda now.
That's him
I
vexing
didn't,
me.
and I didn't use agenda. I was just
And I'm just,
spitting
yeah,
facts.
he don't mind me. I'm just trolling, Jai.
But you get my point, right? So I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
think not knowing the culture is an excuse. It's not an excuse,
True. True that.
right?
True though.
It's not an
Because
excuse.
the state of
I think I
industry
know what the
now.
problem is. I think I know what
Okay,
the
what's the
problem is.
problem? What's the
What's the
problem?
problem?
People don't want to piss people off.
Me, I can't
let me
know. Ah,
let me
me, I
tell
No,
go
you
sit down
guys
for
Ayo,
bed
something.
now.
So for
the way you're
everybody,
running your own business, right, is very
Mhm.
different. You're running your business from an individualistic point of view,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're also not dependent on a lot of people's like money. They
money,
don't
Yeah.
give you
yeah.
money.
Patronage. Yeah.
You do your thing. You're a sustaining entity on your own, and then you do
Yeah.
these things, and then you don't make money directly from the content you are
Bad
producing.
content. Yeah.
You then do your consulting and all of that, but you just use
Mhm.
that as some sort of content marketing. Steve,
I want to because Osage said, "Oh, you don't want to piss people off." I'm talking about money. I want to say it. I want to say it. It's something I've seen in the media. We have seen in the media. If you're not polarizing as a media entity, you can never win. Never.
you can't.
Right?
You
You
can't.
You
can't.
can't. You won't be
You
respected.
no. And that's why you see in America the media is pretty divided into the right and left because media pays most more when you polarize, like when you are loved extremely or you're extremely hated or extremely loved. If you are neutral and people just see you as they move on. So that's why the truth necessarily does not matter. It's just agenda and provocation, right? And that's how media works, in my opinion. If people don't extremely like you, they have to extremely hate you for you to work. Why did the ESPN list trend? Because people had problems with it. The top 50 athletes of the decade, and we crossed out the American agenda. Blah blah blah. Blah. But did it go viral or not? It went
It
viral. It
went
worked.
viral, bro.
Exactly. So I don't understand this point of we're not trying to piss people off. We're trying to they're trying to be balanced. It's not going to nobody's going to send you.
It
Once
no
you
go
don't
work.
once you don't bring out some certain type of emotion, either love or hate from people, is you're not doing a good job, you know.
And guys,
Mhm.
guess what? It's easy to be polarizing. You know how easy it is. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Exactly.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't let me say tell the truth because it might always be like you're
Subjective
searching for
too.
the truth, right? Is tell it the
Yeah.
way it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell it the way it is. If
The way
this
you
is
say it,
the
man.
truth, which is also saying the truth, but right, tell it the way it is. Anyways, I don't think we have like a list. We don't have like our
We
ranking
don't have
done.
anything
But
prepared. We can go and prepare it and talk about it next week.
we should.
What do you think?
You guys think we should do that?
Can't you?
What?
I
Are
think
you not
What's
doing
the
because
that?
what's the list about?
I'm not
Afrobeat
preparing
list
any.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Afrobeats media, like media,
Afrobeat media.
All right, let's do
Let
it
me
now.
no, I mean, I'm not preparing any list for anybody. I don't have time
Give me
for
your
it.
top five.
I don't have a top five, but I want to mention like some people that you guys can that can definitely make a top 10. And if I mention it, you guys can say yes, can make a top 10.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, now.
Ima Owoni,
Yeah,
Afrobeat.
definitely. I'll put him there.
What's the
Steve does not
platform
know.
again? I know the name, but
Uh,
I know the name, but I can't
he does a
Afrobeats
lot
to
remember.
of
the world. That's one of his
Afrobeat
platforms.
world.
He's probably the most. He's probably one of Nigeria's most prominent, and not just most prominent, most enlightened Afrobeat music reviewer. He runs a weekly Twitch review of Nigerian music, New Music Fridays,
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Now I
Afrobeats to
know.
the world, the Twitter music
Yeah.
space that is then converted into a podcast.
Yeah.
And then he, from time to time releases content on his YouTube, TikTok pages, and all of that. And he's been doing it for maybe like 5 years now.
Yeah. He's
And
actually
he's
been
been
very
consistent.
consistent.
Yeah, he's like my one of my most enlightened, to be honest. Like with a lot of context, with a lot of grace, and you can see like how he's grown. And I enjoy listening to it because he doesn't play to the gallery. He's very honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, he gets cussed out on Twitter by
Of course, it's part of the
raging raging stance.
yeah.
So he's doing something. So definitely he's up there for me. Um Joey Akan, of course, Afrobeat intelligence. You have to mention him and put him there.
Yep. Yep.
He's
Yep.
with the podcast, with the reviews, and offline experiences. We also been doing hosting and all of that. Definitely makes it. Of course, I am Tayo. Do you understand? OG
82.
turned
This guy, when me all of
82.
us did podcast. Eh?
82 turned.
Well,
OG
first
turned.
one they give
He
us
turned
Afrobeat
new.
content for loose talk. He say no, I'll do it on my page. Give us any energy. This thing, I'll do it on my page. They using this thing do shakara. Fuck out of here.
Definitely. For his own, like a
Beef.
lot of context. I
Nah,
think
nah,
Ayo is
nah.
the one person
Too good.
that is
Too good.
still going
Too good.
to the
Too good.
past and bringing everything. Like the content is
Too
very
good.
rich.
It's too
It's the
good.
most rich content. Definitely
Times.
there. Um, this thing is escaping me right now, but like there are many other people now. Of course, the aggregator platforms, right? I want to mention a couple. So, Album Talks. What's the name of the other one?
One jobless
49
boy.
Street.
49th Street, yeah.
Um, yeah, One Jobless Boy. Even though it mixes a lot of other things in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Then there are these other platforms. There's this one called Notes Fair or Notes
Oh,
Fair.
oh, not fair is heavy,
Yes,
fam. Yeah.
yes, Notes Fair.
Uh-huh.
There's another one similar to Notes Fair. I can't remember what their name is now. They're also similar to Notes Fair, but they're also doing really good stuff. If I remember, I'll mention them. Then, of course, we talk sound. You have to
Mm-hmm.
mention what Dolakwa Musata has been able to do with the
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
platform.
true
They've
that.
been able to, start off as a community, grow from a community into like, a media agency,
Mm,
right? So they have, WTS as a company. They have We Talk Sound as a media platform. They do PR, they do media, and all of that. Shout out to
yeah.
Dolakwa and what he's been able to
Good,
do.
good,
Um,
good stuff.
yeah, you have Onu Oshikoya.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's one of
She's
like
somebody
the
to watch out for. Trust me.
yeah, young bright people, done multiple interviews, featured on platforms, and she's doing like more stuff. So shout out to her. There's definitely turntable charts. So you have to
Mm.
mention uh,
Heavy. Institution with that.
yeah, you have to mention KD, and what he has done. That's Ayomide Oriowu, what he's done as well. Some heavy, heavy stuff with, of course, the Billboard of Africa of Afrobeats, spearheading that, founding it, launching it, and spearheading it. So him
Yeah.
and the team, the whole turntable charts team. Um, who else do you have? You have so many people that I've not even mentioned.
So
It's
as
cutting
totally
one of
falling
them.
off.
No, I mean there's what do you call it? The podcast Zero
Zero
Conditions.
conditions.
So yes,
Yeah.
Zero Conditions. You got to mention them too. That's
Okay.
Motolani and Alake and Melody
Okay.
Hassan.
Melody.
They've done amazing stuff there. Man, as you mentioned that, something just skipped my head, and I wanted to mention them just now because I think they've also done amazing stuff. Oh yes, Adeayo.
Oh
of
yes,
Yeah,
Pulse.
yeah,
definitely,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
definitely,
definitely, definitely,
definitely,
definitely,
Yeah, you
definitely.
are of
definitely,
Pulse.
definitely.
Like he's the one flying the flag in terms of just
Yes,
being like music journalists. Now, most of the people we've mentioned, they're not essentially journalists, but like they've played in the media space. But
yeah.
Adea is like a journal, so he's done amazing stuff there. Wow, I'm sure there are many people that escape me right now. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll do that or whatever. But I just
Oh,
wanted
but
to
at
get
least
that
it
out.
was this because if that complex list has come out, Osage will just enter the newsroom. Guys, I need my own list now. Thank you.
No, it's
By 2
happening
p.m. It's
immediately.
2 p.m. You just go to the board. Oh yeah, let's argue now. Finish. No time.
And clear it out. You know. But yeah, man, I like to see people do stuff, and a lot of people, and there are still a lot of other platforms. Who
That's
then
it.
of course there are
No.
the influencers, up and down that do the controversial tweet stuff. I just like to see people do beyond like tweeting. So I don't
Yeah.
really consider if you're just tweeting, right? Yeah, but like if you're, I think most of the people we mentioned, it's not just they are present on Twitter, but
On
like they've done.
multi-platform, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have original content. That's what I'm talking about. Original content that they've done. So that's what me I rock with. So shout out to them. You have Nigerian Bars Association, which is
Oh yeah,
dedicated to hip
yeah,
hop.
yeah. They should
You
have a
know,
shout out too.
they've also done amazing there, just dedicated to hip hop. And they've owned that niche and they're doing what they can do there. So yeah, man, that's it when it comes to media. If I haven't
Okay.
mentioned you guys, I for apologize. I'm sure
Well, sorry.
you're in my
We'll
head.
remember next week.
We remember. Ayo is going to give us
A
Ayo is going to give us a
comprehensive
list
list.
of 20.
Me? Why do you want to put me there? Because why you putting me on the spot? This is my
So
industry. Now
you're
let
going to
somebody
give
else
me.
do it.
I think give us the list now.
See, I want to go on a listicle run, Shabo. Don't worry, I'll do it.
Give us list now. Why they do like that now? Give
Okay,
us
top
list. Give us
20
list. Give us
Afrobeat personalities, right? Okay.
yeah. What complex did
Afrobeat
do for
media.
Afrobeat?
Afrobeat media,
Personalities,
yeah,
or not,
definitely.
not platforms.
Yeah, yeah, personalities,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. I mean, ranking it,
So
Abby.
if you're going to talk about we talk sound now, it would be Dollar Musat. You
Oh yeah,
understand?
it's the
Like the
people
people
behind.
behind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, down. I'm doing now. Down, 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 down. 20. It's part of my to dos for
I'll
this
make it
week.
25 if you can.
If I can, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Our next meal comes from Annie. Annie says, "Hi, Loose Talk. Thanks for the awesome content every single week. I am writing for Brighton. I am writing from Brighton. That's a nice
mm,
one.
Osage does not like
Writing from
you
why?
and
Why
nine
don't I like
truths.
Brighton? What's the problem with
You know
because
Brighton?
of the
why?
football club.
I don't have a problem with Brighton.
Ah,
What's my
Osage.
business?
Osage does not have. Osage, something hates watching them immediately because of the Zebi. Come on now.
Deserve. Pull up receipts, my
Osage was
nigga.
hate watching
Guy,
Brighton all through
let me
last
tell you.
season.
Let me tell you. Do not put
That beating
Dio's
pain.
behavior on me. Do not put Dio's behavior on me. Dio is hate watching
He's
preseason.
the general. He's like he's
No,
general number
that is the
one.
number one hater. That is the number
He's
one
the
hater
number
in
one
that
hater.
group.
Dio
Yes.
is watching. Hate watching preseason friendly.
I'm telling you.
It was quiet
God
yesterday.
damn
Oh.
it.
It was quiet yesterday. It didn't drop anything.
Dyer,
Okay.
Dyer was hit watching freestyle. You know when Arsenal went to MLS, they went for American tour last year. They went for this MLS
Yeah.
challenge. Havertz
Oh,
could
the
not hit
freestyle.
the freestyle. He was hit watching it.
Not, not even a proper football game.
I respect.
Dio,
I respect Dio. Dio is consistent with his watching. He doesn't care.
Dio,
Just if you lose that weekend, though. But if you lose,
You
yeah,
know,
get
Dio.
him.
Consignable, you go see hit
You know, concern
watch,
am.
not
You
be.
go say it watch.
You are listening to this. Try and
Oh,
remove
good.
hate. Fill your
New
heart with
season, I can't.
love. Fill your heart with love, Dio.
We
Try and
can't wait. New
remove
season.
hate.
This new season, they here.
Anyways, this is Annie is writing from Brighton in the UK. It says, or she says, on the Good Vibes episode, you discuss Zoho being a great software suite, and Steve comments on it being function led and not design led. While I agree on the functionality, I just wanted to offer another perspective on the design front. I believe Zoho's functionality is actually as a result of it being design led. Functionality is essentially design, and aesthetics is the plantation or is the plantain on on the side, which is just as important in my opinion. We can't separate function from design, and as someone once said, good design is often invisible because it does what it needs to do seamlessly. And I feel that's the case with Zoho, which I
Mm,
totally understand. I think most times
mm.
when people say design,
I know
which is
this
what
guy
you
is
were saying,
a brand, is a tech designer, is a brand designer. So he has to make, he or she is making a case for like design led approaches into like anything that you are building, which I understand.
I think even on a simple level, I think
It's
where
true.
you sort of like made a mistake, or not even a mistake, when you meant design, you actually meant like how beautiful it looks,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah. I think
design is
that's yeah.
not primarily how
It's not
beautiful something looks.
aesthetics. Yeah, it's not
Yes,
aesthetics. Yeah, that's the mistake. Yeah,
okay.
it's true. It's true.
Design has to do more with UX.
Yes, it's the experience.
You
It's
know,
the
and of
general
course the
experience.
UI, everything is interloped, right? But
Yeah,
design means, oh, if I come into the door on my right, I should be able to walk into the living room. That's design.
yeah,
Before
yeah,
you
yeah.
then start painting the walls.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. I understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Understood.
So
Understood.
I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
we definitely agree
Yeah,
with you, Annie.
we agree.
On the
Yeah.
side note, I am a student who wrote who wrote in about her? So she's a lady. Hi, Anila.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
About her dissertation topic a while ago. I've submitted it now, and I have condensed the parts I can publicly share in short reels and videos for social media. If it's all right, I'd love to tag Loose Talk on a reel on Instagram. No problem. Please go
Hundred
ahead.
percent. Let's have it.
We don't
Let's
have
have it.
plenty
Let's have it.
followers. We'll do what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
have it.
have it. Let's
Have
have it.
it.
Let's have it.
Yeah, we'll repost for you. Thank you for linking me up with Fuad Lawal. He helped me out with the most important things, or putting the most important things into perspective. Also, the Saving Nigeria Media Legacy episode addressed many questions I even forgot to ask him. Thank you. You all constantly emphasize show walking and stop being mysterious, and that resonates very deeply. So please let me know if it's okay to tag LT on the reel. First of all, we can't stop you from tagging it. You understand? So
Tag
please
all
go
the
ahead
way.
and tag. Tag all the way. Tag us in it as well. Tag us. Let's keep it going. All right. Oyeken says, hello everyone. I'm sure you are all fine. So let me go straight to the point and keep it brief. God bless you, Oyeken. I have this theory of one of the reasons we blacks in Nigeria are in this mess. Although you can use it for so many contexts, but in this case, I will be using politics. We don't value and respect money or labor. We grew up with a culture of when one person makes it, friends and family should relax because you are expected to take care of everyone. If you tell a white man you are broke, he will tell you to go and get a job at McDonald's or something. If you look at the last election, the people supporting and defending this man are mostly people that can't do without calling you for urgent 2K. I disagree, but I see your point. These people hold you responsible if anything happens to them and not the government. Let me put it this way. Do you think people with these mindsets will know the importance of a political choice when they can easily ask Osags? Why are they asking me? Let me rephrase this. When they can easily ask Steve for 2K for drugs instead of asking for good health care? I support helping people because even myself need help. Let's reduce how we give money to mostly lazy people or people that want to eat more that they can chew. Hunger will not let a lot of people have sense. God bless you guys and the Republic of Loose Talk. Be like say as Ken wanted to write this fan mail, somebody gave him one heavy billing.
Then knock out one
You
heavy one.
understand? And the person
Yeah.
is most likely a pro APC supporter.
I'm
So
not Madoist.
This, so
Ken, I
he
understand you. Go ahead.
yeah. So the email mentioned something about like, attitude to money, and it gave me a perspective. Right on Friday, I and Kazim, right, we went to Vespa Market, right? Osags Vespa Market is, for contest, is like
Are
the
you telling
market
me
for.
what best supermarket is, or are you
Sorry,
telling
sorry, sorry. I'm
are you
telling you
telling
the.
the
So we went, we did our shopping. So one guy was following us around, following, like, carrying our bags and stuff like that, right?
yeah, they just appear
And
from thin air and start
just
helping you
exactly,
out.
just appeared from nowhere, and it was just forming activity. We enter a shop as we are pricing, he'll be just helping us to price, blah blah blah. We know the level, everybody hustle, right? And when we got to our car, we put the things in the boots. Well, we're not even done, but he said, "Oh, we wanted to go. We should find him something." And I gave him 1,000 naira, and he left. So when we're going, we're really curious about the mindset of like his mindset. Like you saw two guys who obviously like are really like well to do in that sense, right? Like guys where they try. Um, and we bought a lot of things, and we're even commenting about how this is a good, is a good place to get some stuff on a cheap and stuff like that. Things that you can't really buy like like luxury, like brand luxury items, right? So we're just talking about it and just having that conversation. And my friend just made a comment to say, if he's in this guy's position, he's not going to take money from us. He'll just take our numbers. So that anytime we need anything, in short, because he has followed us, right, to like different shops, he would have understood our taste, right? To ensure that I'll be going around the market and I'll taking pictures. He'll be sending it to us via WhatsApp to say, "Oh, you will like this one." I'll
Personal
definitely
shopping.
like them. Thank you. You'll just be a personal shopper from that market where if you need something, especially for like some for cars who does a lot of reselling, like he does like he's a business, but he says anything, right? Cousin can buy a car today, like you see him with different cars because he's buying, repairing them and selling at a higher price. He sells everything. And obviously, we went there for personal shopping, but he ended up buying a lot of things that he's going to sell because that's who he is. He's a businessman. So you see someone like that, you didn't say, "Give me your number." Instead, you took 1,000 naira from me and walked away. And Kazim explained it and like he's so pissed. He looked at the guy like this one is not serious. And
Yeah, no vision.
he said if this guy took his number, he won't come back to this market and he'll be shopping from this market. This guy will buy, put it on dispatch, and he will get it. Do you get? And the guy will be making his money. But the 1,000
Hmm.
naira after following us for 3 hours, that's the only thing you could ask for. Do you understand? Like, and Kasim was so angry, and I understood why he was angry because he's a hustler. He understands the power of networking, of having people's contact and stuff like that. But that guy, so the only lesson I drew from that thing, that guy is doing that thing because he's not thinking on that level. And that's why he's still in the market carrying bags for people and just taking 1,000 naira. And it ties to what this email talks about, like people not having that respect for that time, the process it takes to like make money and stuff like that, and they're just after now, give me now, billing, entitlements and stuff like that. You know, I'm sure
Fair
if I've
enough. Fair
offered my
enough.
number to
You're
you guys and say,
absolutely
"Oh,
right.
collect my number now," maybe we'll talk later. You would have been angry. You wouldn't have like you would have been angry, and maybe that talk later will mean, "Oh, send me your account, make I send you 5K." You try because the cash I gave him was the only thing I had in my pocket.
Hmm.
Right? If I said, "Give me your number now, we'll talk later," he would have been angry, or he wouldn't have been
It will
happy.
cost you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have
But
because I was obviously not going to send him 1,000 naira via like via transfer. Do you get? I was like 3K or 5K.
the only
So
problem with that, I agree with what you're saying, and of course, it's see the mentors I had, like one of my mentors I had, right?
yeah.
We had the mentor mentee relationship because the first time I met him, I was offering him value.
Thank you. It's value. It's not you're not collecting because
Yeah,
everybody in his
I
position
mean,
they live
he ended up giving me money that deal.
100%. Of course now.
You understand? But I approached him offering him value. I met
Yeah.
him on Twitter. I knew who he was on Twitter. I tweeted at him to DM me his email address,
Yes.
please. And he DM'd his email address. And then I wrote him a proper email.
Yeah.
And then he replied me and said, come and he obviously read what I wrote,
And
was
said, come and see me.
probably impressed, and said,
Yeah.
come and see me at the office.
That's
And
it.
then at the office, I explained more and showed him the value I could offer him, one of the projects he was working
I'm
on.
working on.
And he
Yeah.
said, you know what, I like this. And he ended up hiring me.
Yes.
And then we even built a bigger relationship from there.
Relationship. Yeah. 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 Obviously know who you're talking
So
about.
for
Yeah.
people who are
It's built.
also looking for mentors and looking for people, you see your mentors tweet all the time. They put stuff together. You look at someone like Doc Neto now. He's always
Yeah.
tweeting about data. You know the projects he's
You
working
know
on.
the project is working on. You know. You
You
know.
you you
Eh,
you play in the same field. You want this guy to mentor you, show you, give you access and all of these things.
not
What
not
value
even
can you
from
present to him?
thank you. Not even from a mentor mentee perspective. Let's as for example, he tweets out a vacancy in his company. Maybe say he's looking for a marketer, which he told me he was looking for. He's still looking for. and I get the opportunity to get to the interview stage, I know how I'm going to impress him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. This is from OGD, and he is writing from Kaduna. I'm writing for Kaduna. I'm a first time writer here. Congrats to you. I've been following the podcast cultishly. Hey, and see, these you people, see, as I am, I don't like Wala. Don't use an adverb like cultishly, please. Okay. I've been following the podcast for 2 years now, and to be honest, I can't get enough. I love the way you guys talk about different topics from football, even though I'm not a football fan, to entertainment and politics. Someone needs to give you guys your flowers. Thank you very much. Your podcast is a true reflection of the current situation of the country because in Nigerian social media, Nigerians seem to be balling, which I find shocking. That's interesting. Same thing with Afrobeats. Anayo, please.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's commission an article. Why is it
What's
that
that school
people
about?
listen to Why is it that when people the content of Afrobeats is very
Better than the
polarizing to
reality.
what is happening in the
Oh,
country?
simple. Simple. I'll do that. That is simple. It's two songs. I'll use two songs to explain it. Two
Is
songs.
escapism.
It's escapism. It's two songs. Two
So you're
songs.
putting all this.
Simple.
You're putting all this thing. I think it's beyond escapism. I think entertainment is in bed with politics, and anything
Oh, that
moving
one day.
beyond.
Oh, that one
Yes,
day. But our mindset right now is fuck that shit. So the two songs I'm talking about is the first one is Sorrow, Tears and Blood by Fela, where Fela
hmm
said, one where I know one. Wait, why did he say it? Where everybody has an
I
excuse
know
not to
one that
protest.
I know one.
I
My,
know
my
one
mama
that
get.
melody for house. Years later, his so-called descendants, one of his descendants, interpolated that lyrics. But if you listen to the chorus, that guy was saying instead of protesting, right? I'll just go and buy a Bentley or a car and ball with chicks. That's Burna Boy's year. It shows you that, bro, we know they fight. Nothing. We don't want to fight for anything. We just want to party. And that's the thing. We just want to run away from our problems.
Please help me put that thing together. Afrobeat and
I will, I
escapism.
will. I will
Thank you.
definitely, I will.
God
I
bless you.
will.
Anyways, he says, but with the way you guys analyze issues, even people who haven't been in Nigeria for years could get a glimpse of the situation. Also, as a first time writer, I would love to give my fellow giant a gift from Kaduna for those who listen to a different sound. It is a Spotify playlist titled Voice of Kaduna, which I curated by myself and is a compilation of good music from the various Kaduna artists. He
Oh,
provides a link, we'll
nice.
put it in the show notes. This is to give you a glimpse of what artists sound like up north because it feels like nothing is happening here.
This
Thank
will
you,
not be
Giant.
this will
I
not be
hope
my
to
last.
write again sometime.
Jesus name.
Shout out to
Amen.
you. All right, I think that we
Thanks for
have
writing.
we yeah, thanks for writing. And that is it, guys. That is the end of this episode of the podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Thank you for
Woo!
rocking with us again. Don't forget to share this. See, if you've listened to this podcast,
That's
whether you're a
something
first
that
time listener,
that's
you're a
something that
last
people
time
from Excellence
listener,
Hotel will
you're an
say.
old school listener, you're a
Stay cool and stay
1.0
jiggy.
listener, you're a 2.0 listener. If you have not shared this podcast with other people, to what
Problem there.
to what come on, guys, share the podcast, like, do
All right,
something.
man.
Just do something, guys. Put it on your Twitter, do something, right? Tag us in it, put a screenshot out, tag us. We would engage with you. Put it out there. Thank you so much for listening again. Do you guys want to say some from my co-host from I Solo Like It's Solo?
Wow.
Yeah, aren't you going to say anything? Any last words?
Everybody be cool. That's all I'm going to say.
Amen. Amen. To me, your last words. And reporting from Excellence Hotel.
Now, wow. Everybody stay cool and stay jiggy. That's all I know.
Stay cool and stay jiggy. Stay cool and stay G. Stay jiggy.
Yeah,
Is Young John?
truly.
Is Young John around? Is Young John around? Did he rent one of the floors? Anyways,
And
man.
young
Catch
John
you
moves
guys.
big boy circles nowadays. All right.
All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.